There you go.
You guys really should go look up that Terror on the Prairie teaser.
And they and start
Or,
streaming.
yeah, y'all can start the stream, share your links, and get it and go without having your faces on the camera while we sit here and ramble on and wait for viewers to join.
Right.
Hmm.
I got my mics muted this way they don't hear us before we go on.
Mm. Well, if I mute my mic, it mutes my mic. I mute my mic for everybody, so I don't have that luxury. So I'm really thinking about switching it because we really don't use the comment highlight thing all the time. And I could actually stream from this to my Twitch probably a lot more efficiently.
And you are coming just a little bit loud, Justin.
Yeah, probably. Let me fix that. And
And nothing is actually
How's
muted
that?
this time.
Good.
What was that?
Yay! Ross learned how not to mute the entire stream. Hello, Ross's followers. He actually figured out how to use Twitch. Yay!
Nobody's here yet. I don't have viewers that aren't already here.
Yeah, my problem is I have hosts. Everybody's a host. And that follows mine, so I only get one or two people at a time. And
You guys, you guys are my viewers when I am able to stream. And I'm very grateful. Just
how do I sound now?
Streaming
Am I
the
loud?
podcast at this point is like wishful thinking.
What?
How do I sound?
You still a little loud.
Okay. Hold on.
What?
It wasn't showing that I was subscribed to you.
Yeah. Really? Let me see.
Well, it is now.
Oh.
But like.
Hi, Leia.
Hi, Leia. Hit Greg for us.
Everybody says hi right now.
And the hit Greg.
She's not going to hit me.
Smash.
I haven't done anything.
Greg smash.
Justin, how much sugar have you had? You're really hyper.
I know.
He literally like took like a giant fucking swig of that vanilla, whatever the hell it
99
was.
proof vodka.
It doesn't matter. It's still vanilla. It's loaded with fucking sugar.
And it's 99 proof. It gives me a little bit of a boost.
Which means if you think it burnt going down, wait till it comes out.
I hope. But I'm constipated, so hopefully it helps clean it out just as much as it goes down.
Well, here's hoping you destroy the ceiling tiles of the floor below you.
Well, I mean, the ceiling above is still destroyed, so
I know.
they still haven't fixed that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Greg smash, Leah. Greg smash.
I mean, I'll smash Leia. Don't get me wrong. I gave Justin a mental image earlier. I was like, I cannot confirm or deny I didn't get the belt in high school when I was in Disney World.
And
emotional damage.
It's overdone, man.
It's over.
I know, but it's still fun. It's still fun.
If you want it to count, if you want to get a good reaction out of it, you gotta wait. Get our guards down and then let it rip.
Yeah, you used to be good at that, Justin.
Oh,
He
thank
was
you.
never good at that.
I'm never good at timing. Come on now. How long have you been here?
You have some golden moments, man.
There we go. Golden moment.
Golden moments, but
He has
now I have
moments.
senior moments. I have more senior moments than golden moments, okay?
He has moments.
Well,
But
no,
those are the
they're-
exceptions that prove the rule.
Yes. Are we all ready to go? Everything shared, link shared, stream's working, everybody unmuted.
So did
Greg
you guys
has
see
his.
that- Did you guys see that thing with the crossword puzzle from some newspaper?
What the hell is that? I've seen that going around. I've seen different people sharing it. It says Star Wars something.
No. It was a thing that was like whoever had made the crossword had actually made it so that if like the line for it was the better of the two star sci-fi franchises.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
And-
what I see.
And they made it so that it didn't matter if you put Trek or Wars, the rest of the columns still were appropriate to the other answers.
Huh.
Yeah, I've seen it. It was a few days ago.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's been making its rounds in all the groups. I need to push this mic back some. Just right there. It's in my damn way. Yes, we hear you. We hear you, Gray.
Yes, now you can hear me. You doing okay there, Skippy?
I'm doing just fine. Mind goddamn business.
Ooh, kinky.
Ooh, my.
Mind you got.
Yeah.
Boom.
You said that twice, so they heard you.
Mhm. You're still looking at me in a
There you go. That's better.
All right, I'm about ready if you guys are then.
Same here.
Alrighty. Let's light this pig, and we will start.
It's kick this pig like this.
Well, we'll kick the pig, light the fire, whatever we need to do to get this spot show on the road.
Kick this pig, kick
And-
the tires, light the fires. Come on, Justin.
Well, the fire will be coming out of your ass after you eat that chip Wednesday. I feel sorry for Leah.
Look, we all know what the opening tagline is. Welcome to Earth.
Thank you. See, son got it.
Oh my god. Alright.
And if you're looking for the
And welcome to this episode of the Real Super Geeks podcast. On this, the 12th of February, 2021. My name is Ross, live, love, play, the eyebrows of doom himself. And joining me once again is my wondrous array of co-hosts. We got Justin, Son, and Greg joining us all once again for a fun-filled night of livid geekery.
And
Justin.
as Hattery, depending on whatever I decide to pull.
That too. How you doing, Justin?
I'm-
How's it going this week?
Doing pretty good. It's been a pretty good week. Productive. Getting some stuff in the works here. Can't quite announce quite yet, but things say I will be finally moving soon.
You've said that for the past 2 years.
Well, I'm giving up on that apartment building. There's some other stuff in the works. Since I can't get home health care, I'm doing some alternative stuff. So yeah, it's definitely good. I'm not going to say what just yet until everything is in stone, because every time I say what, it falls through.
Mhm.
So hopefully all will go with plan with that one. I will let everybody know probably by next week what is going on with that. But yeah, it'll be a good thing if it holds out. Of course, they still haven't fixed my fucking bathroom ceiling here after almost goddamn a month now, month and a half. Yeah, about a month. Yeah, about a month. And we were actually without heat for last week, so a lot of people are moving.
Yikes.
Yeah, but thankfully
Your
it's not too
landlord
bad.
doesn't like money.
Well, the landlord works for the city, and they let them get by with fucking murder. They claim they're fixing it, but come on out, it shouldn't take a week. It's ridiculous.
And where can people find you?
Twitch TV, separate, _SEPER. And if you're here, you're in a fun place. Don't do it. Redeems. If you want to torture our host, go over to Ross or Greg's channel, and you can torture them all night long with redeems.
I
Let's
prefer,
say
I prefer to use the word teasing.
you can just torture. Torture
I
for
mean,
Greg, easy for you.
Let's be honest. Justin's already tortured himself because he's buzzed off that vanilla, whatever the hell it is.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a fun night. 99 proof liquor.
Is it gin or is it vodka?
Well, it's got vanilla flavor. I would say it has to be vodka, but
It's a liqueur.
It's supposed to be mixed with other drinks.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're supposed to mix that.
it's fine.
Give you some dark
Fine. It's fine.
And Greg, how you doing this week?
Doing good, having a good week. School's been going okay. Got some homework done before the podcast.
And clean science.
Joined by a new friend up here. If you guys can see a giant Blastoise plushie, I got a new one right here. But having a good week and looking forward to tonight's show. It'll be a very fun show tonight.
And where can people find you?
People can find me at twitch.tv/mongoose gaming88. If you're watching us now currently, you should be in the right place.
One of the longest Twitch names in history.
We can't really say that anymore because the only one of us who isn't streaming to their Twitch right now is Sun.
Is it
And
true?
I'm just hosting Ross, so
I usually host Ross whenever I don't stream, so
But
And
you know what's funny,
speaking-
Justin? Me and Ross are affiliates.
fuck you.
I mean, I am too. Just not. I'm not streaming the show. So.
And Sun, how are you doing this week?
This week was weird, I guess you could say.
Okay.
I've had this issue with the computer for a while now, where it always seems to be running at like 94 to 98% of my RAM cap,
Mm-hmm.
like from boot. Yeah, that's not something.
Did you update to 11, son?
Oh no! See, I held on to XP until I got a brand new fucking computer.
Okay, so
And then when I got a brand new computer, I held on to that. That was 7. I held on to that until I got this computer.
I've had a few people who have had this issue, and usually a reset helps. Not a full reset, but just like a refresh of your computer.
If you let me finish telling the story. So, we couldn't figure out, I was talking with some friends, we couldn't figure out what it was that was causing such a high memory usage issue. And we'd go through a bunch of memory diagnostics and all that kind of stuff, and come to find out, one of the drivers for the Asus motherboard, the sound driver,
Mhm.
is one that miners like to lay bots onto. So it starts up and it bypasses the detection process, so they can crypto mine using other people's computers. And with the helpful advice of the forum, they said, here, they were talking to somebody, they were helping somebody else. They said, here, go update your sound card drivers, because this is the factory settings that they like to use. So I went to go update the Realtek drivers for the sound card. Yeah, no, the updating those drivers literally yeeted that entire program, and now my RAM's fine.
Maybe I should try that.
Yeah,
You should.
Because
That might be the driver issue that's causing all of my issues.
But
it could be.
if yours, Son had this recently. You had her computer too, though. But you've had yours. It's been a while since you've done any type of reset, right? If that don't work, I would definitely still suggest a reset for you, just because how long it's been.
So yeah, that program was literally eating 12 gigs of RAM when the computer started.
Jesus Christ!
From the computer starting.
I've heard of it eating fucking memory, or like not the memory, but the CPU. But damn, that much RAM?
Mm-hmm.
Windows didn't shut it down.
Well, it's because it was considering all of it as allocated non-page pool. So it's basically
that's how they fucking did it. Yeah, that makes total. But yeah, because the reason why I said reset was that's one of the fucking reasons, because there's so many ways people try to get backdoors in people's systems now that it fucking causes shit like this and shit like drivers issues, and either A, a reset fixes it, or B, just if you can't fix the driver, sometimes it won't let you fix the driver, and you
Yep.
still have to do a reset.
So I guess I should show you guys where I'm at today, huh?
Let's see.
9 circles of hell.
Well, I just have to say, I feel like I should be chasing James and his giant peach.
Oh God!
Out on the ocean?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh
The word
no!
Carnivarge ring a bell?
Carnivarge?
Karma barge.
The Karma Barge.
Yeah, look, I feel like I should be following James and the giant peach with the mechanical fish making fish head dinners. That's the vibe I got.
Well done. Very well done.
Mhm.
As for me, things are about to start ramping up again at work now that we're more or less done with the building we've been working on for the last few months, and we're going into a completely brand new construction. I mean, there's bulldozers and excavators and all kinds of heavy equipment running around. It's muddy as hell, and
Did you
yeah,
play with the toys?
no, that's not my game.
Well, how very meta of you.
It wasn't funny the first time you said it, Justin.
But it's still funny for us,
what's
Ross.
You know what's
it's
funny?
Still funny.
You know what's funny is Ross chastising you for overusing it. That's
I know. But
But
there we go.
there you go, the cell phone never fails. I got another 40K game in this week, and it was a really interesting one. Went to a local game store here in town that recently opened up, and okay, looks like I'm gonna have to do screen. There we go. And this is the army that he fielded. So if this isn't familiar to you, these are models essentially from 1992.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, good.
I feel fucking old now.
This guy's been in the game for a very long time. So it was pretty cool seeing, his relatively old models and my also relatively old models facing off on the field together. It was a lot of fun. I ended up winning that because partly because it was his first game in the new edition, and oddly enough, I was the one with the up-to-date Space Marine Codex. So I was coaching him as much as playing my end, but it was a lot of fun. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to many more games in that store and making friends in the area. I'm putting together a battle report similar to the last one I did. It's and continuing the narrative that I'm putting together based on all the battles I'm getting into. If you want
Very
details, if you want to follow that story, I'm posting it on my Discord.
Speaking of which, Ross, checking Discords. My God.
Yeah, I know. I see it every day.
Because it's his Discord.
I look away for a day, and suddenly all the Discords I'm in have 20 notifications.
Dude, right? Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
That's why I ignore half of the Discords I'm in. I just go in and check them random.
Then why are you giving me shit?
Because it doesn't show up like that for me. I mute tomorrow.
Moving on. Thank you guys so much. It's so glad to hear you guys are all doing well. So let's get into our topics for this week. First of all, Star Trek Discovery is back. Back from the mid-season hiatus where we left off with Book doing an epic heel turn and betraying Michael and Starfleet and everybody else with Mr. Ruan Tarka stealing the spore drive and taking off into parts unknown. As we pick up, we see that Vance, President Rillick, and Michael are all, understandably, none too happy about the situation. And Rillick orders Vance and Michael to do everything within their power to find Book and Tarka, get back the spore drive, and stop them from potentially pissing off a hyper-advanced alien species that could stomp on the Milky Way galaxy.
Pause.
And this makes them all in.
Pause.
Justin, too soon.
This is incorrect.
Okay.
She orders Vance to do all that shit. She orders Burnham to go and do
Something else.
first contact protocol shit.
Correct.
It's
I was
Vance that then orders Burnham to go do the same stuff he's supposed to be doing.
I was getting there.
Yes.
Let Ross
no,
do the recap, and then we'll go from there.
yeah, let's Ross continue. That's the recap. Will you chime in afterwards? Let's not interrupt.
It's
Continue.
okay, Justin. It's okay. I got it. So barred from actually interfering with, for actually looking for Book because President Rillick believes she is too close to it. Vance surreptitiously goes to Michael and tells her to, while she's out of it, just in case, just in the remote possibility that you know exactly where Book might be at any given time, that the opportunity comes up, you can go ahead and do absolutely everything you can to stop him. It's funny, it really is, that after everything that Michael has been through since coming to the 31st century, after getting command of Discovery, after proving herself to pretty much everybody, Vance is now telling her to go be Michael Burnham. Screw orders, do what you feel's right, pull a Spock, and get it done.
That's
Cowboy diplomacy.
And of course, Michael does just that. She finds an old courier contact, goes out with Owoshikan to scout things out. And as it happens, Book and Tarka are there too, and they are searching for what was the isolidium, the compound needed to create an isolytic weapon necessary to sever the DMA from its power source, which we think might be an omega particle, but we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
And hijinks ensue. Nobody has enough latinum to satisfy this individual who runs the thing. I forget his name, but I am happy that he isn't a Ferengi.
Yes, but very much acts like one.
It almost looks like one. Could very well be a descendant of one.
Okay, wait a minute. I want to point this out. Because if you watch the opening scene when Michael, no, it wasn't Michael, it was when Book and Tarka get there, the guards are harassing a Ferengi.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah. That's very noticeable.
So while Tarka and Book are looking for a cheater in the casino, Michael and Owoshikan decide to get into a bit of a brawl and con the entire casino. Owoshikan was pretty badass at the end of last season when she was able to hold her breath longer than everyone else to save Discovery from Osira and the Emerald Chain and restore Discovery's original OS. And now we find out she's a damn pit fighter.
Which is not surprising, considering.
The more we learn about this woman, the more I enjoy her character. I'm really glad that we're getting these moments with these side characters, and even the heart-to-heart moment between Michael and Owoshikan in the shuttle when they talked about shared loss and knowing that she would understand what Michael is going through. And the solidarity that she shows her when they do end up finding Book there. But it's the final confrontation with Book that is by far the most heartbreaking of everything. So, with Book and Tarka revealing the cheater to be a freaking founder, what a founder needs with money from a gambling den, I don't know. But we saw it, but it's there.
Yep.
And Michael and Owo getting the latinum they need to buy the substance. Well, they have a tie, and so a tiebreaker is needed. And what better way to break a tie than a poker game?
Stop.
Yep.
What?
Trouble time.
Oh. And so the battle of wits begins. Michael's able to convince Book to work together to keep the Isolidium out of the hands of a few up-and-coming Emerald Chain holdouts, and then they face off together across the poker table. And
where they're all in.
fucking boo! I had something, Justin. I had something ready. I was building up towards it. I was building dramatic effect. I was getting to a point for the reveal, and you just prematurely ejaculate all over the damn thing.
Like furries on a pizza.
Oh, god damn it. Why? I had to hear that in my other Discord. Why? Oh, that had. Oh.
Hey Ross,
What?
does this technically make Justin a boomer?
Oh.
Bad, son. Bad.
No, you did it first. I just
No.
made it funny.
So back to Ross's recap.
So Michael pleads desperately with Book to get him to change his mind, to reverse course, to come back to her, come back to the Federation, and stop in his quest for vengeance. We can end this, she says. You and I can end this. To which he replies, then let's end it. In twisting her words back on himself, saying that what he's doing is more important than them. And I nearly cried at that because it was just so sad. It's heartbreaking. Oh. He wins. And he takes off with the Isolidium. But only after Michael's able to place a tracker on it. Which she finally tells everyone about in a beautiful reveal that leaves President Rillick speechless.
I love that moment because Relic was just like, "Oh,
well,
I hadn't expected that."
Well, and she was understandably pissed that Michael Burnham pulled a Michael Burnham on her. But came back with results. They now have the location of Book and Tarka. They should be able to catch them if fairly soon, hopefully before Tarka finishes the weapon. And on top of everything else, they also get a set of star charts on the possible location of species 10C.
Yep.
To which we find out they are within a fucking Dyson sphere.
I'm not really in a sphere, but they're in a subspace bubble that is protected from normal space time.
That is the size of a star system.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that. Mm-hmm.
To which I read Dyson sphere. And yes, the DMA is revealed to be gathering a substance used in the creation of the Omega particle. So, whoever they are,
I am happy to say this takes my theory out of the water.
Yes, just been theorizing we'd see Cisco and the wormhole aliens. Nope.
All right. Let's hear your thoughts on the episode. Let's start with Sun.
So, I didn't really write a whole bunch of notes this time, but I took some notes. Mostly at the stuff I was like, wait, what? Okay, so I don't know if this was just something she mistakenly spoken or if she just mistakenly revealed the race's eventual name. At the beginning, when she's with Stamets and they're talking about the location of the race, if you're listening, she calls them the Sensi.
She was talking about the other race
I
by
know.
the.
No. She's talking about 10C, but
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
Let her finish, Justin.
She asks Stamets. She says, "This is the location of the Sensi."
It might
And he-
have been a misspoken line, but
that's my initial thought. My initial thought is, yeah, this sounds like she just mispronounced it, but we have a habit with Discovery of shit that seems like it's a misspoken line eventually being a thing.
Sure.
And it makes me think, she may have just given us, like, Starfleet, in whatever infinite wisdom they named this race, may have literally named the race, period. Like, correctly named the race. Because Discovery seems to do that with other shit. I don't know why and I don't know how, but, like, okay. The scene that, like, to take everything out of the moment. There's that scene between Hugh and Colbert, kind of
Out of nowhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is kind of a pause moment, but it's also not a pause moment.
Yeah, so it was so weird. It seemed so out of place with the whole flow of the story. Like, they decided last minute, hey, we need to do this, so let's slap this in there.
Well,
that's the other thing. That's the other thing. This is the big note that I have. Hugh is literally breaking down. He's been breaking down for a while, but this is him literally coming to the full conclusion of breaking down. He's like, not only is he carrying his own guilt because dude doesn't seem to talk to anybody about the shit wrong with him, he's also carrying the guilt of one patient. Of the one patient he didn't do right by. Now, granted, it's not a suicide or anything like that, but quite literally, this dude turned rogue, and as a psychiatrist, you're gonna feel that shit. And this whole scene is actually more real than anything has ever portrayed a psychiatrist, like, in real life, because who does a psych go to when they feel guilt, regret, and despair?
Another psych.
They can go to another psych, but they understand all the shit that would be said to them already. It's not really all that much of a comfort.
Doctors make the worst patients.
Son,
But then Stamets ruined the moment.
Your avatar's bouncing, right?
That's the point.
yeah, you missed that last week, Justin.
Yeah,
That's kind of the point.
that's a feature, not a bug.
I was like, oh.
It shows that it shows that I'm speaking.
She's slowly morphing into a more dynamic VTuber.
Possibly, yes.
Scary.
So yes, Stamets just ruined the moment. Quote, how I handled the situation with Zora, end quote. Dude, you were right. Your concerns were reasonable through and through. Zora was an AI, and you were worried like the rest of the crew should have been.
Yeah, Stamets was right.
Like, that entire episode was about proving to not just Stamets, but the entire fucking Federation that Zora was sentient. Because at that point, she was still an AI to everybody. You were right the entire time. Oh my god. Okay, so, like, the hustle later on with the Washikun, brilliantly done. Like, they're even fighting with Burnham trying to convince her to stop, that she has to stop, and she's like, let me do this, and then just the turnaround, like, just like that. Ooh, that's slick. That was slick. I agree. I don't know what the hell a changeling needs with a whole bunch of fucking money. They're a changeling.
Well, I noticed something. The animation was really different for the changeling.
Oh yeah.
It was almost like the changeling that we saw back on Star Trek VI in Rio Pinte.
I'll try this, Justin. 30 years difference in technology.
the
Well-
changeling wouldn't change,
900 years of evolution.
maybe, but
Or just a difference in method.
That too.
Everybody looks for that kind of liquid shimmer, so it chooses to kind of do a shortcut and do more of a solid particulates kind of morphing.
Well, I have an explanation for this.
Okay.
So the changelings before have always been portrayed as being like a liquid substance. You know,
Mhm.
you'd have basically you'd think of them hiding on a water world, right? Well, what happens when water dries up on a water world?
Evaporates.
It becomes sand. And that's what we saw out of the changeling. A sand-like transformation.
We also have seen changelings that exist as fog and
It's
fire.
true as well.
mhm.
That was the whole point of the little garden island thing when Odo first got to the changelings.
Leia
Us
thinks
two.
it might. Leia says, sorry, son. Leia says it could be one of the 100 that were sent out centuries ago.
Could be.
I mean,
After 900 years, they would have all found their way back.
they probably
Maybe.
did. They probably most of them probably did, and I bet you some of them even rejected coming back,
Like
especially with someone like Odo in charge.
We don't even know if the wormhole is still a thing in this.
The wormhole is probably still a thing.
But let's let Sun finish her.
Yes.
So
Please continue.
The poker game, that was fun. That was really, really fun. Them just like, I mean, it seems like it's like the Emerald Chain are like, this Federation idiot. What the fuck? What are you doing? Have you never played this before? And then it's like the whole time her and Book are working together to get rid of the 2 Emerald Chain. And it's like, okay, that's really slick, Burnham. Just be the stupid Federation officer. The one thing I don't understand is they literally beat 2 guys in the casino because they're basically trying to steal Burnham's money. And then Mazan shows up. Burnham, you didn't have to place the tracker. You literally could have pulled Book to the side, beat his ass, and then took him back to your ship.
Burnham would never do that. Not to Book.
Burnham's done that before.
Yeah, but Burnham put the tracker in there because in case someone else got the isolating. I mean, either Book or someone else, they would be able to track it.
She explained that she knew that she could win against the other 2, but she couldn't win against Book.
Right.
True.
She
couldn't
put up
win
the
it.
best fight that she could to make sure that none of them would think that anything else was up. If she just gave up, that would leave people suspicious.
No, I'm not talking about the poker game. I think the poker, I'm not talking about like after the poker game or during the poker game. I mean, like, she didn't have to go through the poker game at all if she literally just beat the shit out of Book and took him into custody. Even though she doesn't have jurisdiction, we've literally seen her literally work as Federation, whatever the hell, outside of Federation jurisdiction. She's done that before during the whole Emerald Chain thing last season.
Could she have done that on the pleasure barge without backup?
You saw what happened when the 2 Emerald Chain people stepped out of line. They were transported out into the sea.
Yeah, it just blinked. Well, not out into the sea. They just blinked them out of there.
That was while the guy was there, though. Literally, full Book to the. She whisper conversations with him twice on the side with nobody paying attention. Literally start a fight with his ass, beat his ass, and then take him.
Yeah.
Tarka then gets left alone, doesn't he?
Unless Tarka gets involved too.
Tarka's not a fighter.
He seems to have a surprising set of skills. I wouldn't put it past him to be
I
competent.
mean, he did catch the changeling without knowing what was going on.
Like we have seen. I mean, I will honestly admit this seemed like a let's go have Burnham be Burnham episode, but then she literally turns around and is basically Starfleet Burnham instead of Burnham, and it's like really weird to me.
Well, they're trying to please the fans because
That's no.
Justin.
well, I mean, no, but I mean, it's still though they're showing the Burnham's evolving from what she used to be. Because old Burnham would have done that. Old Burnham would have not given a fuck about Starfleet protocol and still done her own thing. But the new Burnham's not like this. She has other things she has to think about, and she couldn't do her normal thing because of what was at risk. Because fans put his neck out on the line to send her on this mission. And she couldn't fuck up because that would go bad on fans. Everything turned out the way it did because everybody was happy and the Federation president's happy. They got her tracker.
She was not.
She was not happy at first, but she was happy once she found out there was a tracker on the Isolidium.
She was
son,
impressed.
what else?
Yeah.
what
I mean, it really kind of went on.
So basically, the reveal of the barge itself was amazing. To hide a barge inside of a sea monster hologram, chef's kiss. That's something I would fucking do.
Very Bond villainy.
But I really liked this episode for the most part. It was just, I mean, it felt like the most weirdly un-Burnham episode of Burnham trying to be Burnham. So it's like, okay. But yeah, no, I honestly, my favorite part of this entire episode was was Hugh just breaking down. Because that honestly, I mean, I don't have an official psychiatry license, but I've done pretty much that all my life, is just listen to people and, you know, be a kind of, you know, therapist or psychological support. And yeah, no, that shit happens a lot more than you guys realize. It's like,
I've
Where
been
do I
through it
go?
myself. I know I've realized this, so it's like
you know, it's like, yeah, no, it's like you feel like you have to deal with your own problems because you already know all the jargon. You already know all the ins and outs. And if you go to somebody else who's literally going to do the same thing you do, you're going to feel like you're being talked down to almost. So, yeah.
What's that?
So
All
yeah,
right.
that's yeah.
Well, thank you very much, son.
Mhm.
Justin, what did you think of the episode?
Well, it definitely took a turn that I didn't expect it to. But I figured we were going to get, you know, some Burnham going after book action, but the poker game was a real pleasant surprise. Loved the barge. It was very Quarkish. It's totally something Quark would have drummed up, I would think.
As a moon.
Yeah, maybe.
Quark does have a
It was a very Ferengi-ish type bar. But yeah, it's a very cool concept. It was very awesome. Especially the holographic monster that you have to fly through in order to get into the entry. Yeah, that was very cool. Rance surprised me this week. He seems, you know, he was all this, when we first met him, he was all this uptight Starfleet officer. It seems like over the seasons, he's just kind of been, you know, loosening up, accepting. He doesn't want his family to go back home. You know, he got his family back. He's got his Federation back. You know, he doesn't want to lose any of this. Even the president's warming up on me. He went from, you know, being Kylin 2.0 to being something different. He's definitely surprised me. I don't know where this is going quite yet. I think we're going to see definitely something. I don't know if the name of that species that someone's mentioning earlier is dead on. Yeah, 10C, or maybe it was maybe it was a slip. We'll see. But I'm starting to wonder if maybe they're doing something like the Race of the Solar. Maybe not name them the Solar because books and trademarks and all that, whatever. But maybe if they can use that concept, which they're basically doing. You know, advanced race hiding himself in a bubble of space time with a fucking Dyson sphere. Which that would be so cool. We see a Dyson sphere. That would be so cool.
How awesome would it be if they tied that to the Janolan sphere?
That would be
in
very
TNG?
cool. How
That'd be
cool if
pretty
it would. I mean, that it would make sense. I think they did. Didn't they do something like that with in Star Trek Online where they tied all the spheres together?
With the Iconians, yeah.
And the books too. They did. It wasn't the Iconians, it was something different from them. But
I'm
yeah,
not sure what they did in the books for that.
what the fuck was it for the books? Was it the? I
The
can't
Kal-
remember.
The Kalar is how they explain the origins of the Borg.
Yeah. Which wouldn't that be cool? That they kind of did something. I'm really kind of glad it wasn't wormhole aliens. That would have been too easy. This makes it a little bit. This makes it better. This makes it so much better. Yeah, it looks like we're definitely coming up on ahead on a lot of stuff. You know, from I didn't even see what the preview looked like next week at all, but it looks like we're getting a favorite back on the show. What's her name?
The mouthpiece lady.
Yeah, the one who went to the seed ship. She's coming back next week. So that's going to be interesting to see what brings her back into the fold. I think there's going to be an attack. I think Book and Book's going to be successful. They're going to detonate the bomb, and it's going to cause a lot of problems for the Federation.
Well, I mean, you're missing a very important thing, Justin. The whole reason of the seed ship was because they didn't have dilithium anymore. Now that they do, the seed ship can literally go and do whatever the hell it was originally intended to do. Period.
Yeah, true, but yeah, that is true. You can. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do next. I think going to get a lot more interesting. That's for sure. Ow. Okay, who's clanging?
Greg, you're making a bit of noise. I think you're bumping into something.
No, that's literally Justin being drunk.
No, it's not. I'm nowhere near bumping nothing.
Well, it's not me. I don't have a microphone arm to bump into.
My microphone's right here. I can't bump into it.
Yeah, I mean mine's far enough away.
Well, be mindful if you guys can. All right, thank you, Greg, or thank you, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, as for me, let's see.
Oh, cool. Fuck me.
Yeah, it's Greg's turn.
Go ahead. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Chip Man.
Spoiler alert. I actually love this episode. This is my favorite episode of the season so far. See, Justin.
Variant.
So, this is my favorite episode of the season thus far. This was very well done, very well written, acted. I did love it. The guy's name is Haas. Ross, you forgot that earlier. I know you want to get around to naming him. And because we're all getting the Ferengi vibe on him, you know what he reminds me of? It looks a little bit like a Dopterian. If that name doesn't sound familiar, they are an offshoot of the Ferengi species, a genetic cousin. They are first introduced in TNG and DS9, where in DS9, one of them steals Loxana's brooch, where Odo tracks him down because she can't read his mind like she can't read Ferengi.
Oh, right.
So my guess is he could be a Dopterian. It's not explicitly stated, at least from memory, Alpha and all of them so far. But that's my guess. I love Book's name with Haas. What's up, Glowworm? I love it. It kind of makes sense too. So going past the whole political thing, Rillick very much played the president and not a politician. Did you guys know about this? No. Okay. Did you know this would happen? Pull that whole. I love how Vance goes.
Oh no! If you're gonna do that quote, get it right. Did you know that this would happen?
Not.
Okay.
No. How did you not know this would happen? I'm
paraphrasing, son. I'm not gonna remember the exact quote. So then when she does that, I love how Vance goes on Discovery, goes into the ready room and is like, by the way, you're going to go behind her back. This is an unofficial order and get this done, which I can appreciate that from Vance for the reason, like Justin said, he was doing it. He has his family back. He wants to keep this federation going. So how they did, in like DS9, they did back channeling, but the planet was great. I when Owo got in the first fight, I knew something was up. You don't throw her in the fight. We've seen her scrap. We know she could fight. So I'm like, no, there's no way you're losing this fight. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, she was already 2-1 at the beginning of the fight. Now all of a sudden, keep it going, and all of a sudden you hear 45-1, and then her and Burnham look at each other, and then Owo kicks his ass. I'm like, good hustle. That was a great hustle. When Burnham was looking at the Isolinium, when they get past like Haz, clearly you could tell Burnham is Burnham is Haz's favorite. He would dump Book in a second for Burnham.
That's because she brings him jewelry.
So it's going to that. When Burnham was looking at the Isolinium, my first thought was, when she's all like just looking at him, like, oh, she put something there. It was either her comm badge, a tracker. I knew she had something there. When we go to see the card game, I couldn't have been the only one hoping. They could have so given us Frakes as Will Riker as a hologram, as the dealer. Like, they could have just thrown Riker in there as a poker player, But
that man's been in too many Star Treks as is. Come on now.
But interestingly enough, though, if you look at the cards, they're fascinating. The Joker card was the Nautilus head alien from 09.
From Beyond.
Yeah, from 09 Trek, I mean, the king was actually a Cardassian, and the queen was a race from, what was it? One of
Arcadian.
She's it was one of the TOS films during the what was it? Where they basically they busted Kirk back down to captain. Because they're in that that big huge room with the like the pews on the benches on both sides.
Yeah.
One of those races.
So there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'll have to go back and look at.
Back to the poker game. That was okay. I've seen enough movies, and I've played actually enough in my time to know when I saw Burnham and Book look at each other, I'm like, and it's rigged.
Well, you can tell.
These two guys are screwed. Like, there's no way. So yeah, the second I saw Book blink, I'm like, nope, that's the signal. And
well, I mean, it made it completely obvious. He kept going back and forth between Booker and Burnham, and they kept doing things like blinking, coughing, and stretching certain ways. And
well, yeah, they spent a year together doing this kind of courier thing where they
working with Haz.
Yeah, working with Haz, working with each other, conning, swindling, and just doing their own Robin Hood thing across the galaxy while they waited for Discovery to show up.
I'm not entirely sure. See, that's the weird thing. That is one of the weirdest things to me in all of this shit. It's like, how was there a relationship with Haz when Haz acts like, or when Booker acts like Haz was the last person he worked, or the last time he worked with Haz at all in any respect is when he stole the fucking worm. That's how Book acts. But then you meet Haz and Burnham, and it's like they've been friends for forever, which means Book had to have dealt with Haz after that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the first time he actually had. So maybe he was doing jobs for him, but this is the first time he came to him to buy something with enough latinum to kind of cover it. And he's been waiting for the opportunity.
He had a debt with Haz, so all the latinum that he walked in there with satisfied his debt. He goes, "Hey, now we're square, but whatever you want, you're gonna have to pay for that on top of it." Which of course was the Isolinium. But the whole poker game, I love that Burnham saying she knew she couldn't beat Book, but she loses to him, making Book thinking he won. So like Book is 100% unaware that there's tracker on the Isolinium. My big surprise is finding out a good mid-season surprise is thank you, Leia, taking my drink of water.
Yeah,
Is knowing that
Ross hasn't gotten anything tonight.
About finding out that basically the 10C is not they're from what they describe it as, they're not hostile. They're farming, and they probably don't know that their dredge or hoe or whatever you want to call it is causing harm. So I'm looking forward to this. Any theories I think any of us had got shot once they said, "Oh, it's a farming tool." Well, there went Cisco. There went the wormhole aliens. There went this. I think maybe Omega might pop up because how we did find out what they're farming can be made for Omega. But there we go. But Omega is technically naturally occurring. When they find it, Starfleet captains are supposed to destroy it. So I'm interested. I'm definitely now glued for this season. Unlike season 1, 2, and 3, this one actually has me on the hook pretty bad. So
for the president of the Federation not to know what Bornite Aura is, I wonder if their Omega directive has changed since.
Could be in 900 years. They very well could have been.
Yeah, very well could have changed it.
Or she just hasn't gotten that briefing yet because it hasn't been important enough yet.
Exactly. But that's my take. So I'm looking forward to hearing Ross's. I'm excited for the rest of the season.
I am too.
So, a couple highlights so far. Let's see. The guy that played Hasmaro, Daniel Cash, is seen in season 3's Terra Firma as Duggan.
Okay.
He had a lot of really interesting aphorisms in this episode. Let's see.
Yes, he did.
Let's see. I heard Starfleet guests were coming, so I had to scurry like a spider cow to welcome you. We got a Lower Decks reference.
Yep.
How about that? It's going all ways this time. Let's see. I miss you like a Cardassian misses cake.
Yes.
Have we ever seen a Cardassian eat cake before?
Garrick.
No.
Oh, Garrick.
Garrick ate cake?
Yep.
Garrick ate cake.
It's true what the Elysians say. Give a man a tour back and you're a worm in the desert. Referencing the Elians of Troyes from TOS.
So I do want to say, like, all of his euphemisms led me to think that he might have spent some time with the Temerians.
Maybe. While you two were strutting around like Klingons at a disco. Klingons like disco, apparently. A nice little double entendre.
It's also the name of the show.
Darmok and Gelada Tanaka.
And finally, act like an Armus. There's more than one, apparently.
No kidding. I caught that. I was like, wait, is he serious? And I'm like, oh. So that makes us wonder, is the species called Armus?
Maybe.
So when he said, like, strutting around like Klingons at a disco, do you know what came into my head?
What came to your head?
I can't remember which show it was, but it was like that comedy skit of Hans and Hans, the two weightlifters. Two weightlifter Klingons at a fucking disco. Yeah, no, that's totally what was in my head.
The changeling that Booker and Tarka were chasing after. We first saw it as a Zindian sectoid, a unknown humanoid species, human, tribble, and then of course the flat-faced of the founders.
The tribble was the best transformation.
Yes.
The tribble was the most fun.
And the changeling was a woman.
Was it?
I couldn't tell, but
you didn't notice the breastises?
Leia goes in response to the disco, Worf on the bridge of the Defiant.
Explosions.
Flying. Rocks flying everywhere.
All right. So, as for this episode, I liked this episode an awful lot. There was a lot of really fun moments. See the pit fight
friend,
with Oo, just all the fun, all the fun we had with Oo in this episode. Her interaction with Tarka was really great. It's like the guy just wants everyone to dislike him.
She
The
got
way
under
he,
his skin.
yeah, he tried really hard to get under his skin, and when he didn't, all right, you're boring me. Go stand somewhere else. Oh, the karma barge, the hologram, just everything about this episode felt like a scene out of a James Bond movie, which was great.
Yeah.
It was it's Star Trek in its more guerrilla sense. Something that we've been getting a lot more in more recent Trek, where we're seeing the galaxy around the Federation. We see the utopia, or at least the best attempts at keeping a utopia, and then the rest of the galaxy as it just goes about its business.
Yep.
And we get the better parts, we get the seedy parts, we get the bad parts, and we get the good parts, and then we get the very seedy, and it's just fun.
The Morn guy at the bar.
Yeah.
Brandon said that there's a Morn. I mean, it can't be a bar without Morn. I mean,
And like Sun said, I'm really glad to see President Rillick as a president and not as a politician.
or an
See,
asshole.
Well-
Greg said that, not me.
That was
Oh,
Greg.
yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Greg, good, very good for way to say that. I enjoyed that a lot too. Next week, like you guys said, we're going to get Nan back, which makes me very happy. I was always a big fan of hers. And we're hopefully going to ambush Book and stop him from doing something very, very bad.
I don't think they're going to stop him.
We'll see. All right, that will bring our discussion on the Discovery to a close. Any final thoughts before we move on?
Give us more episodes like that.
I still think there might be some psychic influence at play. I'm not sure, but it does. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the beginning that still isn't quite explained yet, like why Booker only sees the hallucinations when he tries to enter the DMA, and not like at any other point in those episodes outside of the DMA, like unless he's in a mind meld.
Okay. I think there's a bigger picture here other than the hallucinations. I think they pretty well explained what the hallucinations were with the mind meld, so
we'll see. All right. Let's move on to our second review of the night, and that is the finale of the Book of Boba Fett.
or Mandalorian 2.5.
Yeah. The battle for Mos Espa has begun. In the aftermath of the destruction of Sanctuary, Boba Fett must take a stand against the
Pike
fish
Syndicate.
people, the Pike Syndicates. He is convinced by the mods to make his stand in the ruins of Sanctuary, where he has all of his lackeys out and about the city, waiting and looking out for trouble. But trouble finds them swiftly as they're ambushed by each of the different factions controlling each portion of the city, betraying Boba Fett in their pledge of neutrality. We see the Gomorians being tossed over a cliff. We see Chrysanthemum overrun by enemies, and the mods pinned down by Transdoshans. Meanwhile, the Pikes themselves are closing in on the entry to the ruins of Sanctuary, where Boba and the Mandalorian make their stand as dang it, Ming-Na Wen's character,
Fennec Shand.
Fennec. She's my favorite. Why do I keep forgetting? It's been a long day. It's been me and my kiddo alone all day. Ooh. While Fennec goes off to a mad rush to Mos Eisley to decapitate the Pike Syndicate, before it all gets out of hand. Whew. And I'm completely blanked.
So where did you stop?
So the Boba and Mando make a plan. They know they can either sit in siege and die, or go outside and die. So they send the secretary, the major domo, out to negotiate for them instead as a distraction. He goes out completely sincere in his thought that he's going out to negotiate surrender when he's actually the distraction, which is used to good effect until the Scorpec Annihilators show up.
And then that's where it gets interesting, because as they continue to fight, Boba disappears and comes back with a fucking Rancor.
Well, before the Scorpec, I skipped over a lot there. Yeah. As the fight goes on, as the two Mandalorian armored warriors seem to be overrun, the mods show up, recently rescued by Fennec. Before them, the people of Freetown arrive in an APC. They get there first, undeterred. Oh, and I completely forgot about freaking Good, Bad, and the Ugly. What do you two take this over? I'm gonna go get a drink.
Go think about what you've done.
So
So
rewinding quite a bit. What is his name? Cad Bane?
Yes.
Shows up to do all the stuff that he does with let's negotiate the surrender, your surrender. Oh, hey, by the way, did you know the Pike Syndicate actually is the one that killed your Tusken family?
Mm-hmm. But
you know this is true. Fight me. Like he's some kind of Irish little person or something. It's really
damn it,
weird.
son.
It's just really weird that he goes, you know it's true. Fight me. Let's settle this right now. What the fuck? Look, his beef is with the Pike Syndicate, not you. What the fuck?
It was just like they just did the whole rewind thing and just,
So Shan's like, Boba, stop, stand down. Let's play the game on our terms. And so Boba's like, okay, tell your bosses that negotiations are over. Cad Bane goes away. Then suddenly the entire fucking town seems to turn on all of Boba Fett, because obviously the other factions betrayed Boba Fett, and now they're fighting against Chrysanthemum, the Gamorreans, and the mods, which, like, the only two fucking pigs on the entire planet left of Tatooine, and you kill them. You literally throw them off a cliff. Why?
For effect.
So we got the suicide of the two pig guys. Chrysanthemum gets overrun, which it's so nice of the Trandoshans to just gently take his gun and put it on the side before they pile on his ass. Then the mods are cornered. Fennec goes off to go and assassinate the leader of the Pikes, and winds up stopping to get to save the mods. And as and now we're caught up. So the Major Domo runs the distraction. They start fighting. Mandalorian and Boba Fett start fighting the Pikes, and they just keep coming. All of a sudden, Freetown shows up. Hooray! Freetown actually showed up, and they're actually in one of those fucking land speeders from the first movie, from the original movie in Mos Eisley, which is like, wow, they just painted it all black and put a gun on it. Nice.
Better than multicolored Power Ranger scooters that look so out of place that those never. I'm gonna stop my rant because those fucking scooters. I swear.
So so they show up. They start literally kicking ass, and then the mods show up because they were saved by Finnick, and then Chrysanthemum just comes around the corner, hobbling on one leg and like a twisted foot, and just is tossing dudes to get to Boba Fett. So that's awesome. The gang's all here, everybody, except for the Master Assassin. And everybody's all here. Now we're going to introduce droids. Giant fucking droids. Because why not? So, what the hell do they call it? Droidicus.
Scorpion.
The Droidicus suit, the Droidicus scene from the first prequel movie happens. And it's like, everybody run!
Because
So that happens. Then we get Amy Sedaris showing up with little baby Grogu, because that's a scene that happened where Luke's X-wing just lands, and she thinks it's one of the New Republic's patrol craft, and it's R2 in the back with little baby Grogu sitting in the pilot seat. And why did you put Grogu in the pilot seat of a starship with all those shiny fucking buttons? But So it's Grogu and Amy Sedaris in the little fucking droid rickshaw, and more chaos and droids ensue. They finally get to a point where Boba's like, "I'm gonna go get reinforcements. You protect all these people," and he goes and brings the Rancor to fight the two droids.
Fucking Rancor. I knew that was going to come into play.
We all knew the Rancor was going to come into play at some point.
Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's Rancor.
What we didn't know was that the Rancor was going to go wild and pull a fucking King Kong.
It only went wild after what's his face shot fire at it. Because Rancors apparently hate fire.
Cad Bane.
But
Ed Bane
went and pulled a King Kong, jumped on the tallest building, and that was a thing. Mando tries to stop it, gets thrown off. The Rancor is going to go after Mando until little baby Yoda just walks up and goes, "Force power, go to sleep. Yay, you're such a pretty thing, pet, pet, pet. I'm going to take a nap right beside you."
Nap time for you, nap time for me.
and then we close out the scene with Boba Fett handing power over to the mods because he does not want to rule after all. And then we see Baby Yoda and Mandalorian flying up in their new starfighter doing a speed run.
What happens at all?
What?
That's not what
Boba
happens
does
at all.
not hand over. Boba says we are not made for this, but he does not hand over control to anyone.
Well, no, but that's what
He's okay. So he's literally walking with Finnick Shand through downtown Espa
and he says we're not made for this.
to a medieval version of the Boba Fett theme. I swear to God, that's what it felt like.
It should actually went with that theme. It sounded really fucking cool.
And so he's being bowed to. Like everybody knows he's the new Jabba the Hutt, right?
He's the new Daimyo.
And he's like, "I can't stand all this bowing." And Fennec's like, "Would you rather be bowed at or shot at?" And he goes, "Those are my only two options."
Yeah.
And then he gets handed he some kids come up with a basket of melons, and he takes one and he thanks them.
Meluron fruits.
Yeah, and then he passes it to Chrysanthemum. It's like, "Oh, I thought," because he mentioned someone being in the back of the tank. It's like, "Oh, I thought you were supposed to be in the back of the tank," because that's what he said during the fight. "I owe you a nice bath in the back of the tank."
But it is occupied by somebody.
But he mentions that it's occupied. Huh? I wonder who that could be. So then the mods come around the corner, And the one guy's like, "Wait, don't we get any fruit?" And Fennec's like, "Hey, Crescent, you want to share?" Nah. Okay,
Santo.
okay.
Santo.
Well, it's the short form of his name, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get like what looks like it's going to be the end. You have the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda flying off, and Baby Yoda's like just beating on the window with his little ball, and Mandalorian's like, no. Okay. last time, and he hits the go faster button. Which, by the way, if you watch the beginning of that scene where it does the quick pan by the ship, if you're watching the engines are barely attached to the rigging of the ship.
Yeah.
They're literally rattling like they would literally break off of the ship. There's that. Then we're like, you think it's going to be the end, and then there's like this slow creeping of, oh, the back to tank. Oh, who's in? Well, yeah, who's in the back to tank? Surprise! It's the Marshal. And not only is the Marshal there, it's also the Mod Doc. Someone else is getting Fennec shanned.
And now we know what the next Star Wars series episode will be about. The Marshal.
Hey,
Well,
I'd watch that show.
But see, here's the thing. That's what they wanted to do with Gina Carano.
Yeah, but nobody wants her.
Yeah. She plugged up. Yep. All right, moving on.
Thank you for picking up after my
brain fart.
My minor mental breakdown there.
we call it old age syndrome, Ross.
Not that old. You're older than I am.
Yeah, and I have those all the time. It's a golden moment. It's fine. You're getting to be that age where golden moments start to take effect. It's perfectly normal, perfectly fine. They're called brain farts.
So, Greg, let's lead with you. What'd you think of the episode and the finale to the series as a whole?
Yes. To our knowledge, this is the series finale. A fun little mini series. I absolutely loved everything about this episode. I understand why people give it flack, but this is Favreau and Filoni know what the fans want. So there were so many callbacks in this episode, so many Easter eggs. Boba and Mando working together really well. They came out of the sanctuary, like Butch and the Sundance. It's like, there we go. That's what's gonna happen. I love the callbacks to movies though. Rancor and King Kong, that was obvious. There were some more subtle ones though, where he sends the Major Domo out there to offer him nothing. That was a Godfather 2 reference.
Mm-hmm.
When Boba and Fennec are walking down the street and Boba starts bowing to everybody, that is very much a Godfather 1, where Marlon Brando's
I can hear that.
Where Marlon Brando's Corleone is walking down picking fruit. That was very much a Godfather reference. So I was like, I loved all those, and of course Robert Rodriguez directed it, so it's like, okay, there we go. A little disappointed we didn't get Trejo. Okay, I'm not crying. We're cool. Amy Sedaris delivered the line that every Star Wars fan in the world was thinking. Oh, hey,
I'm not going to call you that.
Thank you, son. I was.
I mean, Greg was getting there. He's getting right to it. He just killed his moment.
Right?
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Do you know who's hounded on that shit the most out of everybody in this group? Carlos has hounded on that shit the most out of everybody in this group.
Well, Carlos is no longer here.
Your moment.
So Ross and I've had our moments killed tonight. But yes,
by two different people.
So Amy said, so we're all thinking, I'm not calling you that. That's a stupid name. And it's like, okay, I don't have a problem with Grogu. I know everybody else does. But it was great to have that line thrown in there. I thought that was hilarious. And R2 is like, well, I've got somewhere to be. Can you hurry up? So, of course, R2 gets out of there.
R2 spent enough time on Tatooine.
Yes. He's like, I don't want to be here. But we all knew it was going to happen. But when Boba... I just didn't know when. We knew Boba was going to ride the Rancor. just didn't know when. They said it where it's like, okay, I'm gonna get reinforcements. Like, oh, okay, maybe he knows somebody. I legit thought for that split second, oh, he knows somebody.
Mm,
Then you
same.
hear the roar, and I'm like,
He's riding the Rancor already.
comes in the ride of the Rancor, absolutely obliterates the droids, gives his best Palpatine impression, do it, and rips the droid in half. Mando, of course, is great. I love that Fennec went off on her own to go annihilate the other crime heads. Another Godfather-esque moment, like, no, screw this, you're all dead. But it was Cad Bane, the history that they built between Bane and Boba through the entire series was really well done. And this is not, this is the culmination, but not the end.
Wait. The whole series, it was literally only 2 episodes.
I meant the whole series. Son,
and
I meant the whole.
Can we let Greg finish?
It's
not okay. That's lies.
So, with the whole series, I meant as from Clone Wars, Rebels, Cad Bane and Boba have a history. But, like, we know Marshall Vanth is alive, Bane is alive. Because that little light in his chest, and you could hear the beeping. So we know he's still alive, even though he got stabbed through the chest with a gaffy stick. I'm a little disappointed, not in the series, but the fact that it was a mini series that was one and done. But I also firmly believe that with Din taking off, I firmly believe he's on his way to seek the forgiveness in the waters of Mandalore. And he's going to take, obviously Grogu's going with him. I think he's going to initiate Grogu to Mandalore culture. So he's going to seek the forgiveness. He's going to initiate Grogu as an official foundling and begin his training. I firmly believe Boba, he's going to ask Boba for help. Hopefully, if I see this, he's going to ask for Boba's help to retake Mandalore.
Isn't Mandalore like poisoned?
Sorry, what?
Isn't Mandalore poisoned?
No, it was just like, it was destroyed Terminator style from that little flashback.
Oh, okay.
But I firmly believe that should happen. There is going to be some sort of a showdown between Din and Bo-Katan, so she may come back in season 3. Because Mandalorian season 3 is going to, and I hope, focus on the retaking of Mandalore. Because, yeah, that's where it's going to have to go. Boba Fett series leaves us also wanting the Ahsoka series coming. We have our treat now with Obi-Wan coming in May. So I'm really looking forward to this. For me, I love the Boba Fett series. I love the finale. Yes, fans griped that Boba spoke too much. They griped that this was not what we expected as far as him being bounty hunting, but he very much made it clear that he wants to take over Jabba's empire, which he did. So Boba's very much done with bounty hunting, and as Cad Bane pointed out, they're both old men, even though Bane's very much older. He's like, we're both old, Boba, you know this. And telling him right off the bat, he goes, I'm still faster than you. It's like, okay, we got a good one here. I think if it was between Din and Cad Bane, Din would have dropped him. Din is very much that much faster. So, but that's my take. I thoroughly enjoyed the finale. Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, thank you for giving the Star Wars fans what we want. You're the nerd kings. So that's mine.
Greg, you just gave me an idea for a show: Marshall versus Bane. Because Bane's still alive, like he's synced, and he gets made into a resurrected mod. New Bane, and you had the Marshall. Oh, that could be a fun new show.
Before we get to Son or Justin, sorry, my friend Obermick here, he goes, Vanth should have won against Cad Bane. Right, Cobb Vanth would have won against Cad Bane, but Cobb was distracted because his deputy was a dipshit and walked on out there. So instead of Cobb being able to focus on Bane only, he had to worry about his deputy. And because of that distraction, he got shot and was slower on the draw.
Yep.
But he's alive, so I'm happy with that.
I shot the sheriff.
God damn it, Ross.
But I massacred the deputy.
Yes. That's because he's the Marshal Leia.
Besker's Marshall, but the deputy was left.
So, Son or Justin, who's going next?
Yeah, Justin, how about you?
All right. Well, this episode was amazing. I know there's been complaint that there's more Mandalorian than Boba Fett in the last couple episodes, but I think they tied the stories nicely together. It was very nice, well done. I hope this isn't the last we see of Boba Fett and his new empire. I have a feeling you're going to be woven into the shows like coming up. I know Obi-Wan they won't be, but other shows they will be. Let's see, I think we still have Ashoka coming up, which is a good possible one, and then Mandalorian season 3, which is going to be coming that's at the end of the year, isn't it?
No confirmation, but if it follows suit, then yes, end of the year as far as what we've
In
seen.
the year, beginning of next year, something like that. Which that's sure to be. I think that's going to be a blast. I hope with what they did this season, yeah, it looks great. Let's see. I love the fight scene with the Rancor. That was fucking amazing. We knew that Rancor was going to come into play. I didn't I think it'll be that soon. The fact that there's another Wookiee in the universe finally, that they're taking stuff from the comics to do, pepper it into the shows. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, the season overall was great. I mean, we had a couple of slow episodes, but that's in every show. Yeah, good job, Maloney. Keep it up. You gave the fans what they wanted. It was a hell of a ride. I can't wait till the next one.
All right, thank you, Justin. Son.
Yep.
So I'd like to point out that Greg was right, and I was right.
About
Greg, for you, the families did turn on Boba Fett in the end. You called that one.
I did.
As for me, I was right.
Okay.
Fennec Shand had garrote wire in that fucking rifle. She literally trussed up the mare and choked him to death.
Which is a feat for an Ithorian.
Yeah, when Fennec I knew when Fennec disappeared, I was like, where the hell is she going?
She said where she was going.
Yeah, no, that was the whole conversation. Can are their headquarters still in Mos Eisley?
Mhm.
Yeah. Can you make it there in time? I could try. Yeah, no, that's where she was going. She just saved the mods along the way. Speaking of these blingy ass, oh my god, I can't look. I get it. You want to have your show of force. You got a black Wookiee. That's a different thing. But these mods on Tatooine, really?
Well,
I mean, I would either they made some serious fucking money before Mos Espa hit on hard times to have the high tech bling that they have in both mods and in their fucking mopeds,
mopeds.
or they're literally rich kids from some other world slumming it on Tatooine.
They're just setting up for the new Star Wars special, Boba Fett's Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Because it doesn't. It really doesn't make sense that they would talk about having all these super huge fucking expensive mods and then having these speeder bikes that are more colorful than even the fucking daimyo dude's car.
Anything else on the whole fucking planet? Anything that we've seen in the Star Wars universe aside from the lightsabers and the kyber crystals?
And maintaining something with that level of pristine on a desert fucking planet is an enormous cost. It's are they just stealing everything to have the money for this?
We just call it a plot hole.
I mean, it makes me start to question. Maybe the water guy was actually right, and they just stole shit to steal shit. Maybe he wasn't charging unreasonable prices, and they really were just stealing shit. But the mods could have been done so well, but they just got. I mean, and I I don't even care about the whole flourishing, spinny, shooty thing that other people were complaining about. I don't give a shit. It's fucking Star Wars. How much flourishy shit do Jedi do all the fucking time?
This is true.
So Boba Fett strikes a showgirl pose when he fires a missile out of his knee. Big deal.
Yes.
Oh my god.
A black guy with an eye implant literally spins around and shoots a guy, and you're upset? Like, I don't get that.
It's Boba Fett's Rangers.
Like, I don't. No, there are legitimate reasons to be upset with the mods. That's not one of them. Finnick is a badass, always. Amy Sedaris has to be in more Star Wars stuff. She has to be in more Star Wars stuff. She is like I hate saying this. I really hate that I'm saying this. But Amy Sedaris is kind of like the fandom glue that is keeping all of this shit together. She is like when the fandom is actually pissed off at something, it is something that Amy Sedaris says in a way that like both vindicates and blows off the entire comment. Like the whole Grogu thing. I'm not calling you that. Well, yeah, no, half the fucking fandom is like, I am not calling him Baby Grogu. He is Baby Yoda.
Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, she's in a rickshaw. Okay, I understand having like a hammer in your back pocket or whatever to toss at the droid to make it go faster. She's in a rickshaw being chased by whatever the hell that big huge mech droid is, and she pulls out a fucking blunderbuss pistol blaster. Where the hell did that come from? What back pocket were you keeping that in, lady? But yeah, no, like of everything in this series, Shand and Sedaris are like the biggest things to me. I never really had an attachment to Boba Fett because I was never in the extended universe anything. I never really cared that much for him. He was just another guy in the Star Wars movies, just a bounty hunter doing his bounty hunter job, right? So with this series, it's like, okay, well, he's an interesting character who's gotten old, has regrets about stuff, wants to change things. He changed things. Cool. Amy Sedaris is a badass. Fennec Shand is still a badass, though she's part robot now. The Marshal's now going to become part or maybe half robot.
Or mostly.
All the best characters in Star Wars are part robot.
Yeah, I mean, Skywalker.
Especially the ones that are full robot. IG-88.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, Darth Vader, Luke.
But the
Darth Maul.
He was a Mullinator.
There's one thing that bugged me about this episode. Like, out of everything else, you're all parked behind the speeder, right? With the two blasters on it. I understand. Somebody shot the blasters. The blasters on the speeder don't work anymore. Two droids come around two different corners at two different distances apart, meet up. You're standing there slack-jawed and only start shooting at them after they like start their fucking shields. Dude, two droids just came around the corner. Open fire, all of you. Make them work for their shields.
As soon as Din said we have bigger problems, that's where you start shooting.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would have been where the missile should have gone.
Real quick, back to all the cool characters are robots. Leia Organa, sorry, was not a robot. Obi-Wan Kenobi is not robotic. Did not have any mods.
As far as we know, Yoda isn't a robot either.
Exactly.
Count Dooku, Palpatine.
Wait, is Palpatine somebody and people consider cool?
Maybe before the Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, look, I'll give it to you. He literally is mostly machine in the Rise of Skywalker, or whatever the hell the last movie is, because he's literally just a dude attached to a giant fucking mechanical finger.
Dude engineered the fall of the Republic and concentrated the largest amount of power any individual has held into himself, both of the Force and political. Dude's a badass. Evil, but badass.
Dude was drinking that distilled Force juice.
There you go. Oh,
Speaking of drink,
Oh, you're opening
geez,
another
Justin.
bottle?
Are you
Yeah.
trying to do your best George impression tonight?
I hope so. He won't remember this episode.
He's
in
taking
the morning.
sips. No, he's taking sips. Justin's not taking the whole thing.
mm-mm.
Well, while you're fighting that down, why don't you tell us about what you thought of the episode?
There we go.
I already did.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I went already.
Okay.
no, then
That
Ross
was
is
the
turn.
last one, yeah.
All right. Well, as for me, this was a very satisfying finale. Book of Boba Fett has been a lot of things, and though occasionally incoherent, it was a lot of fun. It was nice to see a bit of a backstory for Boba Fett to understand where he's been. I really enjoyed the segments where he assimilated into the Tusken Raiders. Where we saw how he got his gaffy staff, how it was forged, the tragedy of all them falling, and and then just Mando coming out of nowhere and hijacking the show for 2 episodes straight. We got to see the Luke Golem again, which was fun, a bit better done this time around, and then he promptly pissed us all off. I'm glad we didn't get to see him again. Grogu's back, so that's good. We got to see Ahsoka, and okay, I will stomach the Luke Golem if we can see some of those early interactions with Luke and Ahsoka. I need to hear those conversations about her reminiscing about Anakin and him telling her that he died with goodness in his heart.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna get that in the Ahsoka series.
I
Yes,
hope
that's
so.
So speaking of something about Ahsoka, I didn't notice this before because I ain't watched Rebels or the 3D version of Clone Wars, anything like that. I didn't realize she had like one thin lightsabers, like not round, they're like thin lightsabers, and 2 that they're curved as well.
Slightly, yeah.
It's like I didn't notice that, and I see these little things like hanging on her belt. These 2 little things hanging on her belt, and I'm like, are those the lightsabers she's supposed to be wearing? I don't remember those lightsabers looking like that when she was fighting the thing in the last season of Mandalorian.
The final battle was great. The Rancor was the highlight of everything, both the battle and its pacification. Cad Bane was amazing to see in action. Although the final fight with Boba felt a little anticlimactic, that it ended a little too soon. Like it should have been a greater focus of the finale, but I'm fairly satisfied.
I mean, the episode ran 63 minutes.
It was an hour.
It was probably far the longest one we've had all season, I think.
The Scorpec Annihilators were amazing. Apparently, those things were old CIS battle droids made by the same company that made the Droidicars. So that's why they looked so similar. Problem is, they were too expensive to mass produce, and when the Republic got wind of them, they made sure they didn't make it to production.
It's almost the same reason Darth Vader had his own TIE fighter. This is too expensive to make.
Well, they were making them in Rebels.
Yeah. Well,
The Sinar Systems TIE Advanced were being produced on that planet.
they're just replacements for Vader's every time they got blown up.
But yeah, I'm very satisfied with the show and what they've done with it. It's a nice little piece of the larger Star Wars tableau.
Mm-hmm.
And it's certainly setting up Boba Fett to bankroll the retaking of Mandalore.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Or Ahsoka to come in and do something Ahsoka things.
All right. Any final thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett?
Okay, so I do want to point this out with the whole Luke episode. The reason we're all so kind of pissed off at Luke doing the whole thing he did is kind of to drive home the division between what Ahsoka represents as a Force wielder and Luke still being a Jedi and maintaining the Jedi way.
Right.
Like, because if you remember, what was it, the second movie? I think it's the second movie with the new series of the new trilogy. You know, you've got really old, jaded Luke, and the way he and Rey discuss all the shit that went on, it's like, you know, it's basically like Luke whining, I followed the Jedi code to the T. What's wrong? Why does it keep breaking? And then Yoda just strikes the tree temple with lightning. It's like, yeah, no, the Jedi way is fucked up.
Luke said as much when Rey showed up.
But at the same time, he was still trying to like save all that shit.
Well, it's all he knew. It's what he dedicated his entire life to, and that's why he went into exile. Kylo Ren destroyed his temple, proved that everything that he'd done was for nothing, and he couldn't see a way out of that other than to go into hiding and meditate and self-flagellate or something like that.
But only
Self-flagellate.
But only after he tried to kill him.
Well, yeah, that too.
But yeah, no, I really think this is that whole thing was that whole episode and it ending on that really sour note that was so awkward because we all knew Grogu was going to take the fucking chainmail. Like, the reason that ended so sour is to go, Ahsoka is a Jedi who thinks different about the Jedi Order. You know, and I really hope that that's what, you know, you guys are wanting a lot of flashbacks from Ahsoka series. I really hope we see more action out of Ahsoka.
Same.
I hope one, and I don't mean like action like lightsaber duels and all that. I mean like Ahsoka actually putting the work out there to say, I am not the Jedi of the past. I'm not the Jedi.
That's Ahsoka's whole thing.
That's what Filoni has come out and said. Ahsoka's a sequel to Rebels and Clone Wars because she's looking for Thrawn, as I was thrown on Mandalorian, because she's also looking for Ezra. So this is going to be moving forward, and maybe a few flashbacks. But I think, son, you'll get what you want. That it will have that action.
Ahsoka was a huge influence on Ezra.
Yeah.
And Ezra's training, although steeped in the skills of the Jedi, Kanan never brought up the eschewing of personal connections. In fact, Ezra's strength throughout the series was his connection both to Kanan and his friends on the Ghost.
Yep.
So I think those further lessons of Ahsoka would be taken in by him and also by Grogu. I'm hoping that she now steps up to help train him now that he's rejected the, for lack of a better word, foolish philosophies of the Jedi.
Well, see, that's the problem. See, that's the great problem with the Jedi Sith dynamic, is that on the one side you have the eschewing of emotional attachment entirely to try and make yourself like this monk-like being. and it winds up hurting them entirely. And on the other end, you've got like the let your emotions control you entirely. And yeah, no, that's a great way to get stabbed in the back by your your little underling so that they can take over, like
They're
like you did to your master.
they're extremes of a spectrum.
And yet, the ones that talk about eschewing all emotional attachments are the one that talk about balance.
That's because they have no self-awareness of where they are on that spectrum.
It's so weird that we're actually going to have something kind of like gray in the middle, with Ahsoka as a series.
This is a tangent, but it's something that I would like to bring up. There's a theory that I heard about the Force that I think you guys might be interested to hear, is that the Force itself does try to seek a balance, and that's why people like Luke and Anakin, and in Legends, Jason and Jaina, and other very powerful Force users who have an affinity for one side or the other come to be. The Force is seeking balance, but is never able to reach equilibrium. It constantly overcompensates so that the ebb and flow of the Force is like a pendulum, constantly swinging from one extreme to the other, back and forth throughout eternity. And that the light side and the dark are also gravitational forces that pull individuals one way or another. And that's why there are no gray Jedi, so to speak. That if you have an affinity for the dark side, you fall down that pit. But if you have an affinity for the light side, you fall down the opposite one.
It's going to be nice when we see Ahsoka break that theory, like, entirely.
We'll see.
Justin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Justin had to go fight space battles.
There
That
he
wouldn't-
is.
That wouldn't surprise me. Hi, Justin. I figured you were going to have to go fight some space battles.
Well, I don't know. My internet just went weird for a second, but
Well,
I
welcome
will
back.
be stepping out to do that here after we get done with our review segments. So,
Well, that is the end of our Boba Fett discussion. Now for a bit of a quick one. This week, we got the first full trailer for Jurassic World Dominion. And Greg, you being our Jurassic Park World Cretaceous Camp Lego super fan, why don't you take the lead on this one?
and before, real quick, I will say goodnight to everybody.
Oh, you're at.
Good
And
night, Justin.
I will see you all later on. Have fun with the rest of the show. As always, it was a blast. But yeah, it's the last weekend of Xeno, and we only got a couple more days of it, so I am going to go ahead and bust some heads.
All right.
Purge the
Well,
Xenos
have fun.
filth.
Yep. See y'all
For the
later.
Emperor.
It's not really an emperor. It's more
I'm
like
I'm making a 40K joke, Justin.
I know. I know. It's okay. I'll allow it. We'll see you later.
Good night, Justin.
Good night, everybody.
Suffer not the alien to live.
So, ahead of the Super Bowl, which is where we expected the trailer, Jurassic World drops their first trailer. And to say I was giddy is the understatement of the century. I about lost my collective shit when I saw the trailer premiered. I dragged Leia into the living room. I dragged my son, and I put the trailer on TV. He was glued to the TV, watching this trailer, watching the dinosaurs. We had the trailer open up where it brought a tear to some of our eyes. We hear none other than Richard Attenborough, John Hammond, with his creation is an act of sheer will speech. And what do we get? In the first part of the trailer is Owen on a horse herding some Parasaurolophus, and then Blue has a guest. Blue has a little baby raptor following her around as the baby should. Leia almost couldn't contain herself. We were just like watching the trailer. She's like, "Oh my god, baby Blue!" And the trailer keeps going, giving us nice glimpses, And then Claire goes on to say, "Humans and dinosaurs can't live together. It's an ecological disaster." We see an Apatosaurus walking through a construction zone. We see the Mosasaurus taking out Deadliest Catch. So we keep going, and then all of a sudden, we get to Ellie Sattler, Alan Grant. And my heart dropped. I was done. I mean, we get to see the OGs of the franchise um, being more than just cameos in this movie. And it was amazing to see the work that has been done, the amount of preparation that's been done for this movie. The trailer was very satisfying for a trailer. A lot of movie trailers leave you wanting more, and that's good. But this left us like we finally have our first look. Um, they have a range of dinosaurs from the Atrociraptors to Pyroraptors to Therizosauruses, or at least one. Um, but the fact at the very end of the trailer we get
Wait. Therizinosaurs? So the battle
Therizin-
chickens.
essentially, yeah, battle chicken with like 3-meter claws.
Battle chicken.
The feathery Velociraptor.
That was the Pyroraptor.
Gotcha.
The Therizinosaurus is the one where Claire's in that little pond and it's roaring at her.
Gotcha.
That's an herbivore, so but it would still kill her. But of course we get a glimpse at Rexy. We've already seen Rexy in the prologue and all that. We get, of course, more and more Blue because honestly, at this point, you can't go wrong with Blue. And the theme of this trailer was that they have to protect Blue because they know that if whoever looking for her, if they get to her, they will lose her. So I can appreciate that. And that Blue, thankfully, still recognizes Owen when she's at the house and she's a little cautious because of her baby, but she still recognizes Owen. I'm like, thank you. My dream come true in this movie. I hope comes true. My dream is Grant meets Blue and she just stands there like he just stands there now. That's my dream right there to see those two. Oh my god, like this was like absolutely crazy for me to see. At the very end of the trailer, we get to see Claire and Owen with the old crew, and both Owen and Grant don't move. And the Giganotosaurus coming through the woodwork, and Ian Malcolm delivering a line, "Bigger. Why do they always have to go bigger?" It's a fun little note to Jeff Goldblum's run through these movies. In Jurassic Park, he said, "Must go faster." He used that line in Independence Day. In Independence Day Research, he says, "Why do they always have to go bigger?" He takes a line from Independence Day Resurgence and puts it in Jurassic World Dominion. So thank you, Jeff Goldblum, for that. And not only that, a lot of fans didn't catch this. I've been watching Twitter trying to talk to people on YouTube. In the end scene, Jeff Goldblum, his shirt is unbuttoned right there. You look close enough right over Grant, his shirt is unbuttoned and you see that glorious chest. And I'm like, yes. What I'm most interested is that when Grant is on the helicopter, he's flying to what looks like a very secret facility. Out in what looks like a very heavily forested area. So I'm thinking that very much brought me like Godzilla versus Kong feels of like, okay, they got a real top secret area. For those who've been keeping up Camp Cretaceous, there's a third company in this race. They have confirmed that Biosyn and InGen will still be competing in this one, or Masrani. But Manticore, which is very heavily featured in Camp Cretaceous, is supposedly a player in this as well. Manticore has their own island in which they've stolen dinosaurs from Isla Sorna, and they have been experimenting with them, forcing them to fight, testing aggressive tendencies, things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate Camp Cretaceous into this movie, especially given the season 4 cliffhanger we got. Assuming season 5 comes out before Dominion, which that seems to be the MO. But I could gush on this trailer. I am excited for the movie. I am waiting. I have emails to 3 different theaters for when tickets go live. I am buying tickets right away. But yeah, so I know Ross, you're giddy for this, so I want to know what you thought of it.
So I have a question right quick.
Okay.
What company was it that was with the whole shaving cream thing from the first movie?
Biosyn.
Okay. So I don't know anything about any of the other companies in all of this stuff. It's just like,
yeah, Biosyn was never really mentioned by name except for like I believe in Lost World and in the books. But yeah, so Biosyn is the one with the shaving cream. Manticore is heavily in the Camp Cretaceous series.
Yeah, industrial espionage was a much bigger theme in the book. In the book, The Lost World, it was Biosyn that was going to raid Isla Sorna, not InGen going in behind to try and pick things up afterward.
Well, I mean, it would make sense that InGen would want to move back in, and I mean, they spent how many billions of dollars making fucking dinosaurs?
Right, but in the books, InGen kind of went bankrupt and collapsed on itself. There was nothing left of InGen to go back to put the pieces back together.
I see. Okay.
The movies did something a little different, which is fine. It's the movies have done an incredible job of picking up the themes of the first two books and carrying them forward in similar but different ways. That's one thing that I loved about Jurassic World and Lost Kingdom. They very expertly expanded on the themes of the original book and film, but carried it forward into a fully functional park. What if Jurassic Park had been a success, and that's how we got Jurassic World.
Yep.
And then with the expansion of genetic modification technology, with its success in Jurassic World, how else would it be used? How else would people use dinosaurs? Well, of course they're going to make the machines of war. I mean, come on, we're human beings. So I'm really interested to see where they go with this third iteration, where dinosaurs are on the loose, but also uniquely created, genetically modified, or wholly original genetically created creatures.
Yeah.
And with a side of human cloning.
Right, with how you said the genetic modification, they do have a human clone named Maisie, and she's very much prominent in this trailer as well. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the adopted daughter now of Owen and Claire, if they're a thing. Another one was the way the trailer going. It's now like, okay, these dinosaurs are out there now. The dinosaurs are out there, and they're protected. I guarantee there's going to be some sort of thing, because in Jurassic World Evolution, the games for Xbox, there's called the Dinosaur Protection Group, and in the second one, and that's shown in the trailer, is the Department of Wildlife and Fish has jurisdiction over the dinosaurs. So they're very much seen as protecting them versus trying to kill them. So it's very much looking like they're trying to protect the dinosaurs, much like we're trying to protect the tigers in Asia or the elephants in Africa.
What was the name of that short that came out? Was it 2 years ago?
Oh, Battle at Big Rock.
Yeah. There was public information about what to do if you sight dinosaurs in your area when they saw the Triceratops, and then T-Rex shows up and wrecks things a bit.
Actually, Ross, it was a Nasutoceratops, and it was an Allosaurus.
Thank you, and thank you. That is why you are the super geek of the super geeks.
But yeah, that was a great little short, little 10-minute one. That was actually good. To like, what do you do if you see a dinosaur? And then at the end of that, you see them, people dodging a Stegosaurus and driving off a cliff. Unfortunately, a couple of an incident with a pterodon, and of course, I believe a little girl being harassed by a Compsognathus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much turning into that we're trying to protect them, but if they come after you, hey, guess what? You can't shoot them. So, but I will admit I've watched this trailer at least 10 times every day since it came out. A little tidbit is that my son knows the trailer really well, so every time he sees the dinosaur, he loses his mind. This is a little tidbit. John Williams' 90th birthday. John Williams has turned 90. The legendary composer behind movies such as Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park. They play, of course, the Jurassic Park theme. So when the Jurassic Park theme starts playing as an honor for his birthday, my son came screaming out of his room, yelling dinosaur. He had not seen anything on TV. There was nothing on his TV. It was off. The Jurassic Park theme was playing, and he comes running out of his room screaming dinosaur.
That's how iconic the theme is.
Oh yeah.
And no, it's and it's honestly iconic, not Ubisoft iconic.
So, son, what did you think of the trailer?
I've seen the trailer by listening to YouTube. I've not seen the trailer. Like I've not watched a full Jurassic Park movie since the second movie. I've seen bits of I've seen bits of the third one, because of the little boy surviving on an island and how
Yeah.
the hell he did that, I'll never fucking
The
know.
third was just.
And then bits of I guess it's a world with them and the little fucking car ball thing,
Yes.
the
Mhm.
hamster balls.
They call it that.
But like, I've not seen a
Geosphere.
full, movie since the second one. So
I think you'd like the sequel trilogy.
I think you'd like since you like the first one, you've seen the second one, you probably will for sure like Jurassic World. Like if you watch the whole one, it's funny that Sun mentioned watching bits and pieces of third, and honestly, I don't say my disgust, but my disappointment in 3. But 3, I would tell any Jurassic Park fan, you could skip 3 and the movies make sense, except for now with Camp Cretaceous. Jurassic Park 3 played a heavy role in Jurassic World Evolution 2. There's a mission called Return to Sorna where you have to actually find the Spinosaurus, but there's a problem. The raptors kill the Spinosaurus. So I don't know if they're going to make it canon, but if they do, the raptors either kill the Spinosaurus or they just like kind of ignore the game and they go with what happened in Camp Cretaceous and Jurassic Park 3. But Jurassic Park 3 is very heavy in Camp Cretaceous, actually. In season 4. It gets like you see the season 3 commonalities between them. Or Jurassic Park 3 to season 4. Sorry, my bad.
All right.
If you get a chance, Ross, sit your son down and you two can watch that series together.
Well, it won't be this weekend. My niece's birthday is tomorrow, and that's gonna be an all-day thing.
But the Super Bowl.
look, okay, the moment they started releasing the ads for the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl, there was no reason to sit down and watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, really? Come on. Why are you doing this? Leave the commercials for the Super Bowl. That's the whole point. That's why you get 500 million people to watch. Because 300 million watch for the game. The other 200 million, like, what ad did Coca-Cola make? What did Pepsi do? What did Doritos do?
It's anyway. Let's speed up through our next topic. We got some big gaming news this week, and Greg, I'll let you take the lead on this one. Nintendo Direct.
Yep, Nintendo Direct. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What are the new announcements?
The new announcements from Nintendo Direct for February this year, not too bad. Much better than what happened last year. Stupid no new Switch. Still salty about that. But Nintendo, a few announcements that came out. If you're Fire Emblem fans, a new game is coming out. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. That is expected to come out later this year, I believe. Mario Strikers Battle League. That is looking to be a kind of a play on Rocket League, but after also Mario Sports Soccer, it's looking to be interesting. So you're looking to be much more intense in Mario Sports is what we're looking at. They didn't give too much information, but one of those new ones is coming out. Splatoon 3 for anybody who is into the painting game, that is coming out later this year. Chronos Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, is a new game. It was rumored to be out last year, but everybody knows COVID kind of messed everything up, so it's expected out this year. Produced by Square Enix. New Kirby game, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It will be a 3D game on the Switch. One I was excited for, two announcements I was excited for. You thought you were done with Wii Sports and flinging your controller at the TV? Get ready for Nintendo Switch Sports. They are not only bringing back bowling and baseball and tennis. They are bringing in looks like volleyball, soccer, and a couple others. So, Nintendo Switch Sports.
So now you can break your TV in all new ways.
Exactly. You can Boba rocket kick your Switch controller into the TV. Oh man, I say that as I'm watching the little video where it shows them strapping it to their knee, the Switch controller for the soccer, and doing. I'm like, oh yep, that's Boba Fett. Earthbound Ness is making a comeback. So Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings.
It's about time. People have been asking for that for
years.
Ever.
Yeah. So Ness is making a comeback. And of course, the one that a lot of fans are torn on, Mario Kart 8. There will not be a Mario Kart 9. Instead, Mario Kart 8 will be getting a 48-course expansion booster pack. I know Sun will talk on this one. That's fine. For the low price of $25. Now, I say low price because for 48 courses containing retro and new courses, $25 is not bad considering people made the point of, well, would you rather just pay $60 for a brand new game and go that route where you could just download these courses for the $25? I'm on the side of it's not too bad to pay $25 considering you paid 60 for this game, what, 3 years ago? So it's kind of paid for itself. So $25 isn't that bad to get almost 50 new courses. Retro, again, new and retro courses. But son, you're disgusted, so I want to know what you thought of that one.
Just rename the game Mario Kart Ultimate.
Okay, yeah, he's like Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, because Smash Brothers received their last free character DLC, which makes me think they're gonna start having paid character DLC after a little bit.
Right. They have had paid character DLC. What was it? Piranha Plant, a few others. Piranha Plant you got for free if you like pre-ordered the game, but there were a few paid ones. But instead of Ultimate, Mario Kart has it in the title. Mario Kart Deluxe. Just drop the 8. There you go. So they can keep doing that. But yeah, I mean, I get Sun's point out. It's like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And it's like, where's 9? But that was the Nintendo Direct. The big news coming out of there. So a lot of fans not too disappointed. We got new faces coming in. Splatoon 3, Nintendo Switch Sports, Mario Kart. We'll get into the update. So those are those updates from the Nintendo Direct.
Very awesome.
You did skip over the Valve one.
Valve one? Which Valve one?
Mm-hmm. During the Nintendo Direct, they announced the release of Portal, the companion edition.
Yeah. So go ahead and do that one.
So Nintendo and Valve are teaming up to release both Portal 1 and 2 as a combined game on the Nintendo Switch. So you'll be able to play both Portal 1 and Portal 2, including the multiplayer of Portal 2 on the Switch.
I can play that with the wife.
There you
Yes,
go.
you can. They have split screen co-op for it.
I need more of those.
Oh, there you go.
And she likes puzzle games, so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. As far as Nintendo news, then there we go with that. So Nintendo did pretty good with this Direct.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Greg. And now to our final bits of headlines for the week. We got our first glimpse at the Kenobi series with a promotional poster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it now, and, well,
Release
it's a
date.
poster. Nothing really special about it to me. What about you guys?
The poster looks good. The release date, I believe, was 40 years after 45 years, 35 years to the day where New Hope was released. So the release date was intentional to match up with that.
Okay.
Thank you, Upper Mick, one of my fans bowing out. But so the release date has some significance because everybody's like, release it on the 4th. But they're like, no. We're releasing it on the day Star Wars Episode 4 came out. I'm looking forward to it. This is next to The Mandalorian, which is, for me, brand new. I was really looking forward to it. Ever since they announced Kenobi, if there's one character in Star Wars, or at least one actor, it's Ewan McGregor that few fans have issue with because he did Alec Guinness justice with his portrayal of Kenobi.
Yes, he did.
So, knowing that we're getting Ewan McGregor back, and the fact that we're getting Hayden Christensen back, again, I am a Hayden Christensen fan as Anakin Vader. I'm looking forward to those, especially with Ewan dropping his. He goes, I loved working with Hayden on these scenes. I loved working with him again. I missed him. That right there just says we're getting Obi-Wan versus Vader pre-New Hope. We're going to see these two in their prime probably fight at least once.
That'd be pretty cool. Son, any thoughts?
I'm not interested in an Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, okay, fair.
Completely fair. All right. Oh, Futurama's making a comeback. We got an announcement for that this week. It's
Jesus.
not without controversy, though. Apparently, John DiMaggio, the voice of Bender, is unsatisfied with what they were offering to pay. So their talk currently is that they are going to recast him, which would make the series dead on arrival.
Yep.
For a lot of people, yeah.
Oh yeah.
For the three of us, for sure.
Leia's another one. Like she won't watch it if Bender's recast.
I've heard a bunch of rumors about why there was the stall in the talks and why Disney wanted to start hiring someone else. And mostly has to do with DiMaggio wanting, what is the word? Basically, like a contract guarantee that Disney won't kick his ass for something he says on Twitter.
Oh,
Because
I
we've
mean,
seen it happen with other people.
is
mean,
he normally volatile on social
No.
media?
No, he's very much a smartass, and people hate it.
Ah,
People who aren't in the know will take his shit way too fucking seriously, and cancel culture being what it is, they'll lump words onto you even if they don't fit.
Yeah, DiMaggio very much is on the side of like he's cool with everything, and he sees something funny. He's gonna be not a dumbass. He's gonna be a smartass about it.
all right. Well, if that's the case, hopefully Disney or not Disney. Well, yeah, it is. It would be
Disney.
Disney, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, we've seen this before with Disney, like completely.
Yeah.
I 100% would be right there if that's what's going on with DiMaggio. It's like, I want to guarantee that me being a comedian on Twitter isn't going to get me booted off of this reboot because I'm a comedian and I say shit on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got weight behind him. He's Goku. He's Marcus Phoenix. It's like the guy's got a range behind him.
The guy was Jake the dog.
He's also Emperor Zog.
So yeah,
All
I
right.
hope we can get that resolved.
Oh yeah, Disenchantment season 4 or part 4 is coming out soon as well. I'm very
See,
much.
I thought they
looking
were
forward
supposed to be stopping that too. Like Netflix.
That was supposed to
talked
end after
about-
2 parts, wasn't it?
Yeah, Netflix talked about it being canceled after season 2, but like so many people watched season 2, they're like, okay, here's
Wow, this is a hit.
3.
Let's keep going.
Right? They did not expect it to do so well. Like, okay, I guess we'll give you more.
Meanwhile, I didn't realize that Carmen Sandiego was in a 4/5th season.
Really?
Stopped watching it.
Okay. Let's see. Various rights to the intellectual property of J.R.R. Tolkien is going up for sale, including Lord of the Rings and The Hobbits. This is mostly digital stuff like video games and such.
Please, everybody who is not Amazon, stop Amazon.
So yeah, here's the thing. So see where Son's going with that. So here's the thing. As far as I understand it, the bank and the firm who hold the rights to Tolkien's properties basically are selling them, obviously. And it's, from what I understand, all of it. So if they want to do movies, they want to do TV, they want to do video games, they will own all those rights, including The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and the Silmarillion books. Because Legendary did not produce movies or produce new content. They lost the rights, much like Sony was going to lose rights to Spider-Man had they not done anything. But since the Legendary did not do anything, they lost those rights. The sale price, they're expected to fetch over $2 billion. And unfortunately, Son, the front runner is Amazon. They are willing to drop as much as $3 billion.
Look, hey, Microsoft, you actually want to make an investment? Here you go. Here's an investment.
Microsoft really doesn't have any film and television production.
No, they don't.
Exactly.
Here's a company that's not Amazon, but almost as evil. Apple might make a play. There's no rumors to support that claim. Apple would be the only company who can buy them and not pay anybody back. Like, Amazon would still have to borrow the money and bring in a partner. Apple can sit there like, oh, we got it. Here's a check. Thank you.
Again, Apple's in the same position as fucking Microsoft. When are they making movies and TV?
They are
making
for
TV
Apple
movies.
TV.
For Apple TV, they are.
Yeah, but they're going through third parties. They're not doing it in house, are they?
They are. Their flagship show. Oh, Aniston and Witherspoon. The morning show, is it? I forgot. Morning show. Momoa C. They're doing a lot of those in house. The Jon Stewart is in house. I would love. This won't happen. I would love to see Netflix buy it. Netflix won't do it. It's probably out of their range. But if Netflix can buy something and make it better, it's them.
You know what I'd like to
Alright.
see? You know what I'd like to see?
What?
Like our government actually use like
The
money
monopoly laws.
properly. No. Like our government actually use money properly. Hey, United States government, go buy a British author's collected works and rights to that shit. That way you can all put it all in the Library of Congress, and it can go straight into the public domain.
I mean, not against that.
Yeah.
But at this point, yeah, with the rights you have, they said later. This article was posted a few days ago. They said later this week, so this week was supposed to go on sale. So my guess is next week. But it's definitely up for sale. Amazon is currently the front runner to fork up as much as $3 billion. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, see, Disney's not gonna spend that kind
Oh
of
hell
money.
no!
Disney's not gonna spend that kind of money anyway after the failure they had with the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Disney, I found out why Disney's not that it's small, but why Disney's catalog is the way it is as far as content. Like as far as content right now, if you compare Disney Plus to Netflix, Netflix will blow them out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Disney does not want to put their name on certain things. All the adult themed
Absolutely.
content, well, they're putting on Hulu. But if it's family friendly or Marvel, hey, it's on Disney. Here you go. But that's why Orville isn't on Hulu. That's why How I Met Your Mother is not on
That's
Disney.
why they bought Hulu.
Yeah. So they can do that.
It's their new front, like Buena Vista was, or Miramax.
When they did Pirates of the Caribbean, was the highest I won't say worst, highest rated movie as far as PG-13 Disney ever put their name on, but they still blasted as Buena Vista and Bruckheimer Productions because they didn't want to be associated with it.
But everybody knew it was Disney because it's a Disney ride.
Because
Well,
of Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes.
Then they tried to do not just a ride, they tried to do an entire sector of the fucking park.
Yes.
And they did no marketing for it.
Yeah.
Well, they redid the ride to make it fit the films now.
Yes.
All right, and last but not least, inexplicably, for some reason that is completely beyond me, we're getting a Buzz Lightyear movie that has nothing to do with Toy Story.
Disney gonna Disney.
And it's a full-length theater release, not a straight-to-video kind of deal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have had Buzz Lightyear animated TV series in the past
Mm-hmm.
that was loosely based on the media as presented in Toy Story as to the TV show that Buzz Lightyear was based on. And
Lightyear Academy.
yeah,
Yes.
but this seems to be completely original and completely
Yes.
different. And I don't know how I feel about it.
Buzz Lightyear aliens.
So I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna get a new world and life of one of our most beloved toys. I'm sorry. The word I'm looking for is Space Ranger. But I'm excited to see it. It makes me think now with how all Pixar movies are connected with the second largest now cinematic universe in Pixar, that every movie is connected in some way. That this is where they get the inspiration for Buzz Lightyear. They're very much not on Earth like it's Wall-E where the Earth was destroyed. They're marooned.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is this is the prequel, if you will, to Toy Story, where Buzz Lightyear saves the day. He's the Space Ranger, and then hey, bam, that's where they got the toy. That's my George Pixar theory, if I may invoke his name.
Nope. I have a George theory about this movie.
Okay, so I'm excited. I'm not disappointed it's not Tim Allen. I'm excited it's Chris Evans. I can appreciate what he'll bring to the role. If anybody watched this trailer and did not immediately say, I want a socks, there's a door somewhere to let you out. My favorite line from the trailer was, I suddenly regret accompanying you on this mission, or something to that effect. And then it's all, I can play noise while you sleep. whale calls. So no, thank you, just white noise. So I'm looking forward to that dynamic alone. That looks great. Son, what's your theory?
So he crash lands on a planet,
Mhm.
and in a rare joint venture again
Oh no.
between Disney and Nintendo.
Oh no.
It's Buzz Lightyear, Pikmin
Uh-huh.
edition.
God damn it.
Tell me that wouldn't be a fantastic fucking movie.
Actually, you know what, son?
Yeah.
You threw me down the rabbit hole on this one. Okay. Going off of Son's idea. Buzz Lightyear. Oh god, I can't believe I'm saying this. Buzz Lightyear crashes on a planet. Zurg's army comes down with him, right? Trying to find him. He bumps into he bumps into Woody, and we get a remake of Cowboys versus Aliens. It's Buzz Lightyear and Woody fighting on.
Then we find out it was just Andy's dream all along.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, I'd prefer the Buzz Lightyear Pikmin movie, honestly.
When Ross is done hating at what I just said, I think
I'm cringing so hard right now.
But not as hard as Battleship. See, there you go. See, there we go. There's the stopper.
I'm sorry. I enjoyed Cowboys versus Aliens.
Cowboys versus Aliens was dumb fun.
Kind of like Mars Attacks.
Exactly.
Still
Leia and I
cringe.
were going over movies that scream 90s. Mars Attacks is one of them. And Justin left the show.
Independence Day is actually another one of those that screams 90s.
Oh,
yes,
for
it
sure.
does.
Yes, it does.
And all because of one scene, and just one scene.
Welcome to Earth.
No, the lady who's on top of that building, and she goes,
Yes.
"It's so pretty,"
I hope they
before
bring
she
back
literally
Elvis.
gets obliterated.
Yep.
I hope they bring back Elvis.
Yep. Now that Ross is done cringing.
Oh.
So what have
Let's,
you been watching this week?
Let's move on to our final
Final stop.
segment of the night. What are we watching? Greg, let's start off with you. What have you been watching this week?
Actually, because of the Olympics and the Super Bowl, no new episodes of anything we watch aside from Boba Fett and Star Trek. Our typical weekly browse of shows were all on hiatus until the Olympics and Super Bowl are over. But the one thing you guys will be watching, I hope you'll tune in Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. I am doing the Pocky One Chip Challenge for my Twitch stream. If you're interested in Pokemon Go or you just want to see somebody die, come watch that.
Nice plug.
Yeah,
may the odds be ever in your favor.
Oh, they won't be.
Oh, there's playing it up for views, and then there's just the second time I've said it for the night. Self-flagellation.
Yep. I mean, I got hooked on. I love spicy food. I've been trying to get the Pocky One Chip for 3 years now. It always sells. They make it at the beginning of the year to like March. They sell out. They don't make anymore. A friend of mine had this, and he's like, "Hey, I have it." I'm like, "Okay, great. Now I don't have to go looking for it and pay it." No joke. People are reselling this chip for $50, $60. Pocky charges $7.
Oh man, Teen Titans Go is right. Spicy food is a cult.
It is a cult. It is one.
You're constantly one-upping yourselves to go hotter and hotter and hotter.
According to what I've read, the hot sauce last stab that I eat is rated at 2 million on the Scoville. This chip is somewhere between 4 and 6 million. So we'll see.
Okay. Son, what have you been watching this week?
Well, before that, I have 2 quick announcements.
Okay.
For those of you who are interested in trying ye oldie strategy games, XCOM 2 is free for the weekend on Steam. so you can
Play-
download it and
play.
download and play it. So that'll end in 2 days.
That was the game I got started streaming on.
For those of you who have an 80s fetish and enjoy Blade Runner type synth music and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in a Ark/Conan type setting, Grounded is actually free to play this weekend, but for the next 20 hours. It's been free since about Thursday, free to play. And yeah, no, like I said, it's very much a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids vibe, with a robot that reminds me of Conky from Pee Wee's Playhouse. Yeah, no, if you listen to the intro music before you start playing the game, I mean, it sounds like I'm listening to Blade Runner before I even start the game. So, yeah, no, I've been enjoying that. I may actually have to get this. It is early access, though, but it's being made by Obsidian Entertainment, so you know they're going to be delivering quality.
And it's free on Game Pass.
No, there you go. There's that, too. So what I've watched this week, Absolute Unit released a new video this week on YouTube. Entitled "Cute Anime Goth Girl Says Ara Ara," and it's exactly what you expect if you know Tonkatsu Sinclair. So there's that. Yeah, no, you watched it.
I watched it. Yes, I watched it.
You
goddamn degenerates.
The Stupendium, who releases a bunch of video game music, actually took an entire month off to basically make this video that he just released this week. And it's based on Deltarune, or a Deltarune villain, and the song is called Ad Infinitum, because the person that he's talking about is basically a salesman, so ad as an advertisement. It is an assault on the senses. Just like all the clickbait and all those call now infomercials rolled into one 6-minute music video and then shoved in your face, like all of them at once. And like, props to the Stupendium. I've never known a person to be able to roll lyrics off the tongue like he does. Like, honestly, dude has a vocabulary like 3 times around the earth long. He has to, with the amazing stuff he makes in music videos. What else did we watch this week? Just today, Sid Alpha has been kind of away for a really long time. Video game reviewer, critiquer.
I'm familiar with him, yeah.
Yeah, typically he does like dirty devs and that kind of stuff, and as awareness to the community. He's actually spent quite a long time not just working, but making the longest video he's ever made. He just released an hour-long video exposing a serial DMCA striker on YouTube over basically baseless charges, to the point that he's actually gotten a few people's channels removed over copyright strikes for non-copyright issues. And that was an amazing watch. Go check that out if you can. And I did not watch anything of Aftermath this week because, well, I had a whole bunch of other stuff to do, like play Grounded. No, I'm serious. It's an amazing game. It looks like
a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It is. I would honestly say it's one of the better. Like, it's not Last of Us 2 accessible, but it has quite a few accessibility options for those with color blindness and like sound detection and all that kind of stuff. I mean, like most games, it also seems to have an arachnophobia mode as well. So you can basically scale down the spiders so they don't look like spiders anymore. They just look like round blobs. So that's a thing. But yeah, no, like check out Grounded. Please check out Grounded. It is an amazing game. Absolutely amazing.
All right. Thank you, son. As for me, the next 3 episodes of The Legend of Vox Machina are out this weekend. Oh, the Briarwood arc is in full swing. We've got No Mercy Percy executing idiots left and right. We've got zombies, we've got necromancers and vampires, and it's my they're immediately going into my favorite arc from Critical Role, and as much as I'm enjoying the series, it's like I said last week, I'm not experiencing it for the first time. And I'd be really interested to see what someone who hasn't watched Critical Role thinks of The Legend of Vox Machina, to get that outsider looking in perspective. It's a very dense show. They're doing a lot of rapid character developments with a group that has a history together, but we're not picking up that group from the beginning. We're picking it up from them about midway through their adventures, and at the beginning of their major story is where things start interconnecting and coming together as a larger threat is being revealed. But the animation is still great. The dialogue and the writing is solid. The art is so much fun, and the way they're adapting some of the best moments from the RPG campaign is just. The one scene I was looking most forward to was in episode 7, I believe that's the one I'm on, or that was on this week, where the group's bard decides to infiltrate an enemy stronghold alone, and through sheer luck manages to massacre the entire staff and burn the place to the ground while polymorphed into a triceratops.
Okay, that's funny.
I mean, that's D&D for you.
It is very D&D, but it's a
Like
lot of fun.
if you can polymorph into a dinosaur, you're going to polymorph into a dinosaur.
Oh yeah. Gatehouse 99, thanks for the follow and hanging out on the channel, but unfortunately we've covered most of Boba Fett while we've been reviewing the series. We're right at the end of the show, but if you wanted to check out our talk about the Fire Spray gunship, the back episodes are up here on the channel. And with that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's been an absolute blast to share in our thoughts, our joys, and our woes with all of you. We hope you have a fantastic week, and we will see you again next time. Son.
Remember, sweeties, you are loved and appreciated by just your being you.
And
Justin, play us out.
I was just about to go down and try and find it and probably fail again. Hang out for a little bit. We've got a couple doozies of Florida Man this week, although this time it's more of a Manhattan couple. But if you want to see the wild and crazy world from Florida and beyond, stick around. But until next time, remember to live, to love, and to play every day.
All right.
Not what I was going for, but okay, we'll own it. Chill vibes playing
There we
us
go,
out.
right?
Yeah.
See, this is how the Book of Boba Fett should have ended. Not that cringy ass outro they had this week. And the worst part is it started so good.
I mean, Ross
Also,
failed,
I'm pretty
but
sure
didn't
this is
fail.
a loop. I'm also pretty sure this is a loop too.
It is a loop, yeah.
It is. Yeah, I thought so.
All right. Well, that concludes the episode of The Real Super Geeks, and now it is time for Florida Man, the wacky and wild stories from Florida and beyond. While I am bringing up the big story that I heard about this week, son, why don't you fill us in with some of the other headlines?
Well,
I'll be taking off, guys. Have a good rest of the night.
Thank you very much for hanging out with us,
Be
Greg.
safe,
Pleasure as
sweetie.
always.
See ya.
So, we're supposed to skip over stories like that, even though it's actually kind of hilarious, but also yikes. Florida man accused of stealing a chicken from a Publix and a golf cart from a high school.
Florida Man.
There's a video of him with like the cart, like with the little handbag, like the little handbag from Publix with the frozen chicken in it.
He stole the chicken and kept it in the bag and kept it in the bin. Just okay.
Yeah. Kept it in a little handbasket and then stole a golf cart.
All right.
Oh my God. Florida man claims to be Mick Jagger. Picks fight at restaurant. Vomits in police car. Because of course.
Oh. All right, one more and I'm ready to go.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. I don't know how that. Okay. Florida man hijacks fire rescue truck, turns on all the lights and sirens before being detained. So he didn't even go anywhere, I guess.
Oh, man. All right, so this week, one of the biggest stories I've seen in wild and weird news revolves around a certain individual by the name Razzle Khan. And
Sounds like a wizard.
I think it's best if I just show you her website.
Sounds like a wizard to me.
So this is Razzle Khan, infamous crocodile of Wall Street. More fearless and more shameless than ever before. She's taking on anyone from big software companies to healthcare to finance bros. She is a self-described a software CEO, hardcore rapper, and programmer. And well, yeah, that's her.
Okay.
She's cultivated a very strange persona. Razzle Khan is apparently her own version of Genghis Khan.
She looks like she's trying to imitate Vanilla Ice from the 80s, 90s.
Just a bit. This is an example of her rapping.
Never forget, weirdest is most original. This song is for the entrepreneurs and hackers.
Okay, you can stop now. That's okay.
You don't need to hear much to see the truth of it. Well, the reason why this individual has received so much attention, I'll let Reuters take it from here. The U.S. Justice Department said on Tuesday it has unraveled the biggest ever cryptocurrency theft, seizing a record-shattering $3.6 billion in Bitcoin tied to the 2016 hack of digital currency exchange Bitfinex, and arresting a husband and wife team on money laundering charges. Ilya Dutch Lichtenstein, 34, and his wife, Heather Morgan, 31, New Yorkers who were arrested in Manhattan Tuesday morning spent the illegal proceeds on items ranging from gold and non-fungible tokens to a $500 Walmart gift card.
God.
That person, that she...
Look, I know there are pump and dump scams all the time, but like, okay, I gotta give props to the lady. She legit stole fucking Bitcoin.
She stole a lot of Bitcoin.
She didn't just make a fake cryptocurrency, build it up, and then the moment it goes live, sell every bit of it so it was at the highest point, and then take off with the money because the stock would instantly crumble. So
No.
props for actually stealing already existing cryptocurrency. But that's about it.
And apparently that's part of the money she used to fund her music.
Do you mean the music that sounds like she's literally playing music off of an iPhone while recording herself?
Yeah.
Yeah, lady. I'm sorry that if you spent anything more than $50 on that whole shit, you got ripped off. And rightly so, you got ripped off. But damn, lady.
So their initial appearance in federal court in Manhattan on Tuesday, the magistrate set bond at $5 million for Liechtenstein and $3 million for Morgan, and demanded that their parents post their homes as security for their return to court. So not only would they be out millions of dollars, but they'd also be out their own parents' homes. Apparently they... Wow. Morgan is sidelined in the painting, fashion design, writing, and also pitched herself as a corporate coach. One of her most recent pieces was titled Tips to Protect Your Business from Cyber Criminals. Who better to coach about protecting yourself from cyber criminals than a cyber criminal?
She sounds like she's trying to be the next Kardashian. How to protect yourself from people stealing your art and putting it on merch by the Kardashians.
So yeah, the one of the biggest, not just crypto heists, but biggest heists in general in history is perpetrated by this woman and her husband. And there's a lot more to this story and a lot more to her background that just makes it even more bizarre and hilarious because apparently she's a legit writer. She has had several, not just editorials, but actual financial analysis pieces posted to several sources of notes, of record. And they are professional and of a professional quality, not that garage band quality rap that we heard just a minute ago. And of everything that's stolen, they've only recovered 2.3 million of it.
I see. So she's got some squirreled away somewhere.
Probably. Because they tried laundering it, but apparently, based on the article and the research, they were using their home internet and personal email addresses to launder some of this stuff.
VPN and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, easily traceable.
Yeah. It was my big story for Florida Man tonight.
I can nowhere near top that. But I have one that might come close.
Let's hear it.
Oops! Florida woman takes hour-long detour to North Carolina to see the Swiss Alps.
I heard about that. Fooled by a TikTok.
Yeah, something like that.
as I heard it, someone had been posting TikToks satirically saying that different areas in Europe were located somewhere in the U.S. because you look.
The guy who was posting on TikTok said he had been tagging North Carolina spots like Wrightsville Beach, Falls Lake, and Concord Mills Mall in videos he took while quote unquote studying abroad 2 years ago. So basically, he was studying abroad in the U.S. but marking them as other locations.
Yep. And this unfortunate woman took it a little too seriously.
Oh, it's just an hour away.
Just an hour.
I mean, that's literally a quote from her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you road trip fairly often, an hour on a multi-hour drive, not as big a deal, but still, you drove an hour out of your way for nothing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that was good. That was great. Anything else for us tonight, son?
Well, there is one from Walmart, apparently.
Okay.
Quote, load these up. Florida woman stopped by police after free TV shopping spree at Walmart.
Free TV shopping spree?
Apparently, she acted like she'd already paid for the, no, okay, so she has somebody in the family that works at Walmart. So she borrowed their vest, put TVs in a shopping cart, and then told assistants to load these up. Other assistants to load the TVs up into a car that turned out to be hers. Yeah, that's I gotta hand it to the creativity of stealing shit nowadays. Honestly.
Well, the thieves are typically fairly creative individuals, trying to find a way to get around rules and restrictions.
Here we go again.
Oh.
A Florida woman. Okay, so we had this previously with a Florida man. A Florida woman posing as head of immigration dupes victims out of $15,000 at religious gatherings, promising expedited U.S. citizenships for cash. We had this previously with the Florida man.
Yeah. Despicable.
Yeah, that looks to be mostly it, yeah.
Anything good to round us out on?
Okay, well, I guess this would be it. Florida man YouTuber arrested for, quote-unquote, Coke prank 911 call meant to provoke police officers.
Oh, jeez.
Looks like they were provoked all right. You got your ass arrested.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right, that will do it for our Florida Man segment for tonight. The wacky and wild stories from Florida and beyond. Hope you guys had a great night tonight. We certainly did, and we hope to see you again next week. And until next time, I hope you have a good rest of your weekend and a pleasant start to your week. Until next time, good night.
Bye, everyone.